Damn it. Hey Dragos, you ready for the... Oh, that doesn't look good. Wait, I have a solution, but you have a break. I will be right back. Just wait.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
See? I told you we'd figure it out.
I don't think this counts.
Come on, let's go.
Gọi là bị YouTube nó gõ ấy mà, nhưng mà mọi người thấy em Long nói đúng không? Em Long nói đúng cái cộng không? Trận này em làm cái cộng với anh làm cái mini delay.
Wait, is he switching lanes?
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Who's in charge of
What's
this
it going to be?
Let's see.
Na'Vi,
Na'Vi, okay. Sion is through.
It's open!
Holy f, it's open!
It's open.
Oh my god, Sion is open! Oh my god!
Yeah, Humanoid comes in, Fleshy there with a follow-up knockup. Baus will die here. Doesn't have the unstoppable onslaught, but he is distracted. Vitality.
I'm not sure about that.
Nexus. I stun you.
Nexus.
I'm in my bad, bro. I'm so bad, bro. Sorry.
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as I am joined by the victorious man of his word, Nako, who promised and delivered to leave Sion open. Welcome, congratulations on the victory, Nak, and how do you feel after that game? How many of Baus's deaths were good deaths?
Thank you, Finn. I think most of them were bad, but he was creating pressure on the map, so he was just playing good.
I mean, you did say that he would stomp you before the game, and you did need a lot of help to deal with him. Was that because of the intense pressure in the 1v1?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I was losing because I solo killed him level 5, but the dive was kind of questionable. I mean, I think the lane is just chilled, nothing should happen, but he was just fighting me, so it was just fist fight.
Take the fight to him then.
Yeah.
I actually want to break down one of the team fights that you played that game. I think this team fight was one of the longest team fights I've seen in my life. You were playing Mundo, I think it was the 3rd or 4th dragon, where you were just running around. We're gonna get the clip there for you, as you can see. Can you break me down what you think about in this fight? Because it's really difficult sometimes in this chaotic fight to really see things clearly and know your role.
Okay, at first I was just trying to block the Sion ulti, and after that there was just shuffle, I think, from Marek. I don't really remember the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a really scrappy fight there, and you're going to be the last man standing here in this river. And there's just people dying right, left, and center. But you're really diving here on the back line. Did you not want to peel your carries?
No, I don't care about my carries. I will fight them. Who cares about your carries? I'm the real carry in this team. I mean, Sylas gets my ultimate and kills me after, but if he didn't, I will just carry the fight. Unlucky, Velya was him.
I mean, you say you are the real carry, and actually, news are just in. You got the Kia player of the game for that series. Do you think that was deserved, or do you think someone else deserved it?
I think I didn't deserve it, but I don't know who deserved it in our team because we just played disgusting.
You played disgusting and you won anyway, okay.
Yeah.
Well, just one last question here, because as the clip is still rolling, looking ahead in playoffs, Los Ratones might still make it. How do you think the chances would be in playoffs when you come into a best-of-3 scenario?
I mean, I'm just happy that Fearless is done, so I don't have to play Rumble, Xante, Sion. And I just want to play some other champs. Hopefully, we win the playoffs, but let's see what happens.
All right. Well, up next, we have GX versus KCB. Thank you so much, Nako, for your time. And we'll be right back. Now, casters, take it away.
We're right back.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to say something? Because I haven't got my thing up yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
What's up, everyone? We're getting ready for GX versus KCB. This will be the last time we see KCB here in the LEC versus. Their road so far has not been an easy one, even though we've seen multiple valiant attempts from them throughout the regular season. GX, right now, if they win, they will secure a spot in the top 4.
Yes.
We don't know yet what position within that 4 they will be. It largely depends on the results of the rest of the day, but top 4 is very much what they're looking to secure.
You can say every game counts.
You certainly can.
Yeah.
The thing for KCB is they're ultimately just looking to prove what they've got.
Yeah.
I think that multiple players have demonstrated high caliber performances, and again, when you kind of look at how they came into the regular season, expectations were relatively low for this roster. A lot of second division players, LFL players, like very fresh players to the stage that, I mean, people weren't expecting to have super high performances, and I think at various points throughout the split, they've demonstrated a lot of great qualities, in particular their laning. I think the mechanical skill they've demonstrated has been very high. Unfortunately, it's just when they enter that mid to late game space where they do make those mistakes, they're not always paying attention to where they are on the map. Sometimes they get caught and it results in the enemy team being able to snowball. So even if they do get early leads, they can't always convert it into success. And I do largely think that that's just an experience thing where they don't have that same pedigree of well, experience.
Yeah, exactly. I think they just don't have as much stage time as most of the players that we have on in the LEC versus. And for Giant X, I think they've had a pretty solid split so
Lag. Để em tắt bớt cái sảnh cho đã lát.
The LEC versus they
Để sẵn lát.
really good performances. Yes, against Works is seed
Chuẩn bị
1
vô
and
nè.
2 will be
Chuẩn bị
split
vô
on
nè.
the sides of the bracket. And then 3 and 4 will be seeded in, and I believe 3 gets to pick out of 5 and 6 which team they want to play.
And I think 1 also gets to pick up.
Yeah, so 1 picks of 7 and 8, 2 gets the other one, and then 3 gets to pick of 5 and 6, and 4 gets the other one. So it does give you a little bit of an option, but as Vedi has said, like there's so many permutations still, and because there's no lower bracket, upper bracket, there's no fighting for double elimination. All of playoffs is double elimination. Exactly where teams place isn't at the forefront of teams' minds generally.
Yeah, and as far as I understand, in terms of stakes for a lot of the other teams looking to qualify for playoffs, this game doesn't have significant. Yeah, it has.
None. Yeah, so the reason it doesn't have any is because Giant X have already qualified, so it's not like they can knock someone else out by going higher or by going lower. And then the Calm and Cold Blue have not qualified.
But ultimately, what it does determine is their position, right? And that's what
for Giant X, they can be fighting for that top 4, maybe 1 or 2 if they do really well. We will see exactly how things permeate as we go through the day. But we are getting into drafts, so let's have a look. Giant X on the blue side, they're going to get rid of Pantheon, Vi, and Akali, whereas KCB on the red side will get rid of Yone, Oriana, and Varus.
That first pick is granted to GX, and they will start off the draft with an Azir. So, in a game like this, sometimes we may see teams experiment. It looks like GX looking to lock in. They want to make sure that they are primed and ready, because we're straight into playoffs next week. You know, the schedule is changing. Next week, we're not on Saturday and Sunday. We are on Monday and Tuesday.
Yes, just for that 1 week.
Just for that 1 week. And then we have a crazy week of League of Legends after that. We go straight into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yep, 4 days of League.
Yeah.
Or Riftbound if you're going to Bologna, like some cool kids.
Yep, and so there is a lot of action, esports happening. Some paper sports, I don't know.
I mean,
does that fall under esports?
I mean, it's close enough. Close enough. We'll see if KCB pick off a Lightning Helix from the top or something for this game. Instead, Janara Rumble, no real surprises there, although Towers only played the Rumble once already this split. It's often banned against KCB in about 40% of their games when they are on this red side. Yukino, I think, has been the standout performer for KCB, so we'll see what they decide to give him in the jungle.
Bạn bích game 2 nè, bạn bích game 2 nè. Game trước đang vui, game trước đang có view. Mẹ nó gõ cái lại điếc mồm. Gõ cái lại điếc mồm.
I need to check this. Wasn't Sion kind of undefeated in the LEC until that last game?
Really?
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a quick look to make sure.
That's fine.
But I think Baus may have been the... yeah, he's the first LEC Sion loss this year.
Wow. And the Mundo win rate just
no, Wonder lost on it. Wonder lost on it. This hasn't updated, so he's the second.
Ở đây thì
Two G2 teammates from the MSI.
Gọi là nhìn cái hình giống game trước quá nha. Anh em nghĩ KCB này win được thằng GX không? GX đánh ghê nha. Chỉ có Isma, Zaki, Noah, Jun hay gọi là vị trí của Lord thì đều bắn đánh là hay. Cao quá nên vào con em Long á. Em đang nghi ngờ về cái trình độ bên phía KCB. KCB đánh hơi cũ su hào. KCB đánh thực sự là rất là cũ su hào luôn, chứ không phải là hơi nữa. Rất là cũ su hào luôn.
Nothing else has happened.
So we've had another ban, but we'll see where we go from there. So we've got a Caitlyn ban and an Ambessa ban.
Ambessa has been banned on the side of GX.
At the moment, the comps are... Oh, it's back up on the screen.
We're back. There you go.
Azir, Jarvan, Sion with an Ambessa ban, and Yanama, Rumble, Talia with
Aphelios,
a Caitlyn
perhaps.
ban. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh god, they're going to take that away from Noah. You've always got to be mindful of his Kai'Sa. I was going to say, I'm personally not a fan of Azir plus Jarvan.
Okay.
I feel like they want to do two different things.
But you could put someone in the cage and then throw them out of the cage, and that's how you win the Royal Rumble.
But typically...
Rồi, quay lại mọi người, quay lại. Hồi nãy nó có trục chặt nó mới ngưng á. Hồi nãy có trục chặt nó mới ngưng. Quay lại nè. Vẫn tiếp tục là mỗi bên 3 con thôi. Chưa có con thứ tư. Đợi có con thứ tư hiện hình, anh em mình vào.
In my experience, Jarvan usually uses that ult as like an engage tool, and then people flash out of it.
And then the Emperor's Divide
but then
goes
I often
them.
find that Azir and Jarvan are just too far away from each other to really work in tandem
so
with
you're saying
one another.
teams are bad? Because they could just get closer.
Sure, I mean, yeah, sure. What he does act as is a fairly decent front line and a very good engage tool, so I think
nó đây rồi. Nó đây rồi.
This is what I mean, they're hovering the Kai'Sa, you can see Noah thinking about it, and that's why I'm thinking like, okay, Jarvan Kai'Sa, that makes a ton of sense to me, but then why have we got Azir?
Yeah.
And so
I get you. I think the Azir, like, you kind of know Camilla's going to pick the Talia into it, so maybe Jack is just very confident in his ability to play that matchup. The Nautilus does a similar thing to the Jarvan, just kind of wants to go in.
Bên phía của hai bên bắt đầu là ổn định cái đội hình này nha. Yunara, Rumble, Talia, sao lại là con Seraphine? Seraphine không thích hợp cho lắm mọi người. Chốc. Và cùng với đó là một con Talia sẽ là một đội hình đánh nhau khá là tốt ở trong giai đoạn mid game. Bên phía của GX cũng vậy mọi người. Nhưng mà GX Bích có vẻ kiểm soát tốt hơn và cái đội hình nó gọi là trông hoàn hảo hơn. Khi mà đường trên là con Sion, đi đường là con Yavan, là cái GX trừ. Không biết trừ bao nhiêu. Xíu coi trừ nhiêu đó. Ghê lắm. Trời ơi 10.5. Nhưng mà mấy thằng KCB này ngu lắm mọi người. Mấy thằng KCB này ngu lắm. GX vs KCB nhé. Làm cái gọi là GX trừ 10.5 đi. GX trừ 10.5 nhé mọi người. Mấy KCB này hơi ngu, hơi gà.
A lot of like Skumons played it. Tao, I mean this is top lane.
That's top lane.
Yeah, no, but I did look at jungle. It just showed me all of the matches.
That's fine.
Anyway, that's enough of a tangent. Yeah, it's enough of a tangent. The higher seed has a right of first selection for playoffs as well, which is quite nice all around. So if Giant X can get into one of those 1-2 spots, if they can manage to mangle their way there somewhere, or I mean 3-4 is still solid for them overall. As we get on to Summoner's Rift for the second game of the day. For KCB playing for Pride, I think KC fans have had a lot of pride in this roster, right? Like they've done a really good job across the course of the split, even if they haven't quite been able to make the same waves as someone like a Lost. I don't think anyone expected them to.
The debut of KC, they were last place.
Yes.
Right? And now look at them, right? First place. You know, and so
KCB do not have the same time.
That's
in which,
true.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that like having your debut be last place, I don't think you should think of as the end of the world. Like this is an opportunity for a lot of these players that I think you just have to make the most of, and I really like that interview we did with Hazel, I think last week, where he basically just said, yeah, like it's not been easy, but we got a lot of experience. The bot lane's just going to trade that barrier as we often see.
Cảm xúc, mà bộ lòi bắn ghê quá anh em ơi.
But ultimately, I have high hopes for them in the
Đang coi quả CS2.
And I hope that they get given more
Bộ lòi đòi đang coi mới có quả highlight kinh ác.
Are keeping their eyes on. And in the ERLs, I expect this team to be quite the powerhouse with the experience that they've been able to garner off the back of competing here in the LEC. You have to imagine they got some pretty good practice. In the meantime, in this early laning phase, it looks like that GX's bottom lane gets the early level 2.
Yeah, hook coming in from Jun as well as they try and trade onto Prime. Both the barriers were exchanged earlier on. Heal did come out from Prime as well during that initial exchange, so another summoner down. I did see that Jun had gone Font on the Nautilus, which does give you a little bit more
trận này thì không mọi người à.
When you are landing those hooks, but often you go shield bash if you think you can get the extended trades out, because your Tyson's Wrath shield does just allow you to really smack the enemy carries as good staggering blows there onto Prime. Hazel will trade back onto Noah, but overall Jun and Noah having control of the lane for now.
Nice push, nice control.
And that's what the Nautilus gives you a bit more of in this lane, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this has been, this is your traditional pairing.
Quả thằng Lót này đi đường trên này nó đánh giá cũng khá là cứng cựa nha. Đánh gọi là cũng cứng tay đấy. Bữa giờ đánh thắng nhiều nhưng mà trượt chân mọi người à. Không có gọi là cái giải LEC này không có nào chiến thắng tuyệt đối cả.
You don't give him the luxury of having like a comfortable lane. You can see about a 4 CS lead, nothing too major, but a lead nonetheless. So Camilo going to be committing to his first base. Jackie's going to look to do the same thing. Small pot advantage for Camilo. He actually sells that to pick up the refillable. So both mid laners largely going to come back into lane with similar itemization. Bot Crab going to go the way of Yukino, it looks like.
Yeah. You can see Isma actually already recalled, went back, got himself a long sword and a Ruby Crystal, and was like, I know I'm going top. I know I don't really want to try and fight the Aatrox this early on, so Yukino will be able to get that crab, and now he's looking for a flank down towards this bottom side. The wave is crashing in, though. He can dash across the wall. Don't really think you want a dive to materialize, and it looks like that's not going to happen at all. As all.
Thằng 1-9, thằng 6-4, nhưng mà quan trọng thằng GX này thắng tại mấy tay to mặt bự thôi. Còn KCB gặp ai cũng thua. KCB đánh hơi khoai. Camilo đánh con Talia mấy bữa nay đánh cũng được.
and Yukino did just recall on the bot side.
It's a bit of farm lost for Kamilu, but no harm, no foul for the most part. This tower gets a very nice trade onto Lot.
Yeah, getting the flame splitter as you go into the danger zone, allowing you just to walk up and get those autos, and how do you trade back into me? It's literally fire. It's very difficult.
I mean, for a lot of people that also just don't play into Rumble much, it's really easy to underestimate how much damage his just auto attacks do when he overheats, right? Yeah. So obviously these top laners are quite familiar with it. That's why you saw Lot running away quite fast. But ultimately he's Scion. He's not particularly perturbed by
cái gì đây? Man City hả? Trận Man City hồi nãy em Long có kêu anh em mà. Trận đó làm cái Man City thôi. Man City cộng khá là êm. Còn trận này thì hiện tại vẫn là không đều đến từ hai bên, phút thứ 4 của trận đấu nha. Chưa có gì cả.
Zombie war chief or something, right?
I mean, I guess by definition, that's just what a zombie is, right?
I mean,
comes back from the dead.
Sure. There was a while in comic book history, I can't remember exactly when, where they wouldn't call things zombies because of the commissioning boards who didn't like the word zombies. They're like, oh no, it's not, you know, religious enough for us, so we can't use the word zombie. And they changed it to like Zwambi or something, and they were just like, oh, there's some Zwambies here. Yeah, very weird.
What an interesting fun fact.
Well, I learned it on a podcast. It could be a lie, for all I know. I listened to the podcast.
I did not fact check this. I just heard this thing on a podcast, and now I assume it to be true. Well, right now, an early game, a quiet.
Quả gọi là quả Noah. Quả thằng Noah này đánh. Em Long đánh giá là
they're both going to go back to base. I mean, not
càng mai càng thô nữa.
A risky start. You can see some pings coming down from KCB considering a possible start. Pings from GX on the top side, expecting Yukino to be pathing towards those top camps.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is here, everyone's kind of happy just to get 6 in a first item.
Seems like
right? It's even first strike Rumble, so he's just like, okay, you know, I'll collect as much gold as I can off Lot. He uses the unstoppable onslaught. Now he's going to get chased away by Tao, but in the end, both of them just really wanted to clear the wave. There is a small threat of a dive with Isma going and picking up this topside Scuttle Crab. Will hit level 6 off that. Yukino unable to get there in time, so he's going to be a level behind for a little while. His top camps are coming up in the next minute or so. So you can see Yukino probably having to cover towards this top side for a second, make sure he knows where Isma is, so that Tao isn't at risk. Emperor's Divide coming out. Camilo flashing after it hits him. Jackie's is low mana, but there's the Cataclysm.
Camilo bị bắt rồi nè. Chiến công đầu có bên phía của GX nha. Chiến công đầu có bên phía của GX nha.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was well played. Yeah. I mean, we'll see if that unity continues as the game
rồi, kéo trúng vị trí của bờ Rime luôn nè. Kìm được, nhưng mà vẫn còn sống bình thường anh em.
It's a classic play.
Mẹ đầu vô chưa có gì đâu.
Flash out from the enemy mid laner, and then jungler shows up. Usually junglers don't show up that quickly, but hey, take what you can get. First blood goes over the way of GX. No dragons still though, so it looks like we're not going for a super early dragon play. Yukino not really in a position to cross map.
Also, because he lost that topside Scuttle Crab, he was a level down until he was able to get his topside caps, right?
Good spot there, good spot.
It's a little bit trickier for him to go for those cross maps. Needs to clear from top to bot to get back to that. Now a couple of pings coming out on the dragon, so this is where Yukino is like, okay.
Bọn KC này hôm qua 16 phút thua 7k tiền, với con em Long mới nói đó. KC này nó có biết đánh đâu mà. Không biết đánh.
Think more about the shield bash not being on Nautilus. It doesn't work as well when you're playing into a Rel because she's got the Shattering Strike, so Shield Bash becomes a little bit harder to use effectively. As KCB will take the dragon, or at least start it up. Collapse is beginning. Jun only level 5, does have the flash, could look for a flash hook, but with the smite coming down, KCB take it, and Giant will, you know, just go back to their lanes. They should get the push in here on bot, but not too much loss for the KCB bot.
I don't really know what the plan was there for GX, because I mean, they didn't have anything.
Sure.
So, I guess I get a little bit annoyed when teams just kind of spectate an objective going down.
Betty, our whole job is spectating objectives.
No, okay, yeah, but that's our job. It's not theirs.
I mean, yeah, I understand the logic.
And yeah, I'd rather they just, you know, they could have.
Rumble đi lên Tosion thì biết trình độ rồi. Kèo khó anh ơi. Vị trí thằng Tao này đánh cũng non, sao bằng thằng Lot được? Thằng Lot này đánh phải kinh nghiệm đầy mình.
Jun looking to see if perhaps he can find a good hook. Yukino chasing him down. There's the dredge line away. Jun's still stunned up with the Shadowing Strike. With the Seismic Shove coming in, he has to burn a flash of his own.
Yukino looks like he's eyeing up a play. Not going to find much though. The Q1 will connect. Isma's made his way down. He's now in the river. They ult.
Emperor's Divide going out. Camilo caught out. Doesn't have the
Rồi,
flash.
Camilo tiếp tục bị bắt nữa này.
And thought he
Không
had
có
more
những cái cơ hội
protection
cụ thể nha.
from being around, but unable to be protected from a good Emperor's Divide out of Jackie's.
Vừa mới nói.
Had been used there by Hazel defensively against Noah, who was looking for a fight, but both AD carries just trading their HP bars as GX do find another successful kill onto Kamilu. The Java now 2-0-0. Great start for an early game jungler like J4 to just get him ahead. He's going to have a lot more power, especially as the dragon spawns in 3 minutes time, but perhaps they consider using this advantage to set their sights on the grubs. Camps are on the top side of the map for Isma as well. Jackie's, though, not with a huge amount of mana. Obviously, he hasn't gone back to base yet. Does have his TP available.
Yeah, I think with Jun moving across, they'll likely look to push this out, have Jackie's TP back, and then play towards the grubs. Both the supports now level 6. You can see Prime opening up through the mid lane as well. Looks like Yukino wants another camp. There's a Sundered Sky advantage on Ismo, where Yukino is yet to complete his first item, so might be that they decide they can't really fight around this first objective. Good dredge line. Shadowing Strike still going to connect. Magnet Storm for the pullback. Jun has no flash, does still have the heal, has the aftershock as well. Depth charge down onto Camilo. Isma there for the chase with the flag drag and the knock-up. Can still chase him down here with the Cataclysm, but with Prime coming in and Yukino there, Jun's going to fall, so is Camilo. Jackie's TP's in. Hazel here to bolster the attack, but Noah's going to join the fray. Hazel dashes away. Yukino needs to do the same.
Ở đây có ông Noah. Noah bắn vào vị trí của bờ Dime nè. Nhưng mà vị trí của Hazel, phần chia thiên hạ lên, hạ gục được vị trí của Hazel. 4-1 tối bên phía người mọi người. Không có cái cơ hội nào. Nói là không đủ trình.
I mean, Jun has to lose his life, but that was a worthwhile trade for GX as they get themselves 2 kills. A nice skirmish goes their way as KCB, I think they tunnel just a little too hard onto getting that kill onto Jun. They spent a lot of time securing that extra kill, and I think it just cost them too much. We look back at this play, and it's an initiation onto Jun at the start. They don't really have the damage, though. Camilo's just used everything to clear out that mid-wave. He's waiting on those cooldowns to come back. He doesn't have them just yet. Nice sidestep from Jun. Finally, he throws the ultimate out. Then Camilo gets targeted. Rather than peel for Camilo, they turn their attention on Jun. Now it's a 1-for-1, but they say they can fight longer. I think if they just disengaged at this point, they probably would have been fine, but they looked for more, and it cost them.
Yukino going to start up the grubs as TP comes towards the top side as Isma looks for his next target. 3-0. Alonso out from Lot as he chases onto Tao. Flash forward, looking for the slow.
Tung được vị trí của Tao nè.
Might be able to turn it around onto Lot. Tanks a couple of tower shots. The Infernal Chain's going to pull him back, and there's the Q3 with the Darkin Blade. Yukino
5-2 mọi người ạ, 5-2.
Okay, so a 1-for-1 trade. At the very least, this Aatrox is beginning to get stronger. The only downside is that Jarvan is a full level ahead of him and has been involved in every single kill that has happened on the map. Isma being as proactive as he can to build a healthy lead for GX. Yukino gonna steal away his blue buff though. At the very least, a small trade back in his favor, but really the whole map is going the way of GX. The fact that Hazel ended up falling, Jackie's picking up that kill. He's now got a 1.3k individual lead over Kamilu.
5-2 nhưng mà hơn đâu đó là 2k mấy tiền thôi. Gãn đảnh là áp đảo gọi là nhiều tiền một tí xíu.
Hovering around that mid lane means that Camilo's always had to play pretty far back. Nash's tooth already complete for Jackie's. Hazel is waiting here in the wings. Isma around the corner as well. Looks like Jun might just go up into this jungle. Hazel back underneath this tower. Prime spots them. Hex flash forward from Jun. Underneath the tower though, Shadowing Strike and the interrupt. Hazel transcends and down goes Jun, but immediately the dive in, the barrier from Hazel.
Hạ được thêm vị trí của bờ đi mè 5-3 đi mà. Quá sao đánh càng thua kill ấy, càng đánh càng thua kill ấy.
Yeah, an ambitious play from Jun as he hex flashes over the wall.
Rồi thằng Lót bị bắt luôn rồi đó. Mày 5-3 thành 5-4 luôn rồi. Lỏ chó chưa. Lại cất trường 10.5.
Maybe with the red buff, as now he turns his attention over to the grubs. Already picked up one of these to make it 2 and 3. They're sacrificing the Drake for this RKCB.
Yeah, you could see that Kamilu was
đang đánh hồi thua ngược luôn. Mấy thằng KC này qua LCB có khi còn làm phôi ấy chứ. Mấy thằng KCB, mấy thằng này qua LCB đánh sao được.
So instead it will be a 1-for-1 in terms of dragons. Nice to see KCB getting a few kills for themselves though, punishing some of the over-aggression that we've been seeing from GX. I expect Tao to just drop his ulti here to just catch this extra wave, go back to base real quick, spend what gold he's been able to build up for himself. KCB still behind in gold. A lot of it is in the mid lane just because of, well, Camilo has been targeted largely.
Look how far Noah ahead is as well. Almost 1.5k himself.
Oh, yeah.
Because of how far Hazel's had to stand back in that lane. Like, Noah's just been able to pick up plates, been able to pick up a couple of extra waves of CS as well, and Hazel having to be very defensive overall. It's unfortunate for him that Prime got the kill of Jun underneath the tower.
Oh, absolutely.
Hazel would have been very happy to take that one himself.
Yeah, Hazel has had to move over to the mid lane as well without having completed his
Mày bây giờ mà để mà thua được cái trường 10.5 này em thấy cũng kỳ diệu lắm. Đang hơn thành thua luôn.
But not an ideal spot to be in as now GX is mounting up the pressure. Another plate secured in the top side of the map. Herald spawning in about 45 seconds. You have to imagine that GX will want to grab that objective for themselves. Right now they've got good vision coverage around that side of the map. Mid lane continues to be pushed in by Jackies, who's just so strong on the Sazir already. Things looking good for GX.
Yeah, overall really good spot for them. The question is how much impact Tau can have as the game goes on. A good equalizer onto a Kai'Sa, onto an Azir can at least make them use their tools to escape as the Decimating Smash comes out from Lot but doesn't land the knock-up. Did have to use that unstoppable onslaught alongside it, so Tau very much winning out on these top lane in the bot lane trades, Vedi.
Absolutely. 5 more seconds. Good position from GX. Reset came through from Jun. He's going to replenish those wards.
Noah forced to run away here. Infernal Chains aren't going to connect. Doesn't burn the flash. Uses the Killer Instinct afterwards. And that's a big ultimate out before a Rift Herald fight. Tau resetting as well. Does have the TP. So
5-4
will come back to the fight at about full HP.
Cái cơ hội vẫn nó còn dành cho bên phía của KCB 100 mấy tiền thôi. KCB mà đánh rồi kiểu nào mà KCB mà win được cũng nể được, cũng nể.
Cataclysm in, depth charge going down onto Yukino as well. In the end, KCB should leave this one. Hazel can't get across here easily. Another hook going down. There's the equalizer on the backline. Slice and shove not going to connect. Camilo already very low, but Isma's burned to a crisp with the TP coming in from Lot. Now KCB disengage. A good dredge line again from Jun. Emperor's Divide will catch out Yukino, and Giant X collapse on the fight.
Yeah, Prime just steps a little too far forward, and he doesn't respect how quickly GX can engage. You also highlighted, Medic, how difficult it was for Hazel to really approach that fight because all of the GX members were on the top side of the river while he was stuck in mid. These are some of the coordination issues that we've seen from KCB this split, some of that lack of experience that we've been seeing affect them. GX was just in a much better position. They punished effectively the setup of KCB, and then they converted it into a very dominant team fight win. They got 3 kills overall.
Mày gọi là với cái đội hình này mà bên phía của GX mà đánh vào tranh thua đầu game nó hồi nó cút luôn. Nhưng mà tiếc cái hắn dồn đam được. Bên phía của KCB vẫn ngu, không khôn nổi. Có tay. Tay. Camilo. Mà được cái thằng tao nó xanh. Thua được 1 Má đánh khi nào bây giờ được trường 10.5 trời. Bây giờ là 8 năm, 8 năm là hơn được 3 mạng. 3 mạng là phải gọi là 8 mạng nữa. 8 mạng nữa mới chính thức hơn đối phương về mạng kêu. Có anh em mình. Mấy thằng KCB này qua bên phía của LCB mình quýnh không nổi luôn.
Well and truly punished him for it. Noah now with a 2,000 gold lead on this Kai'Sa. Kraken Ginsu is already complete for him. He is in such a strong spot, has not lost on the Kai'Sa this year in LEC Versus. And across the course of his career, it's his 4th most played with a 60% win rate, Vedi. So no real surprises that Giant X are very willing to put a lot of eggs in the Noah basket.
I mean, Noah Kai'Sa, man, trying through pick. Jun, though, talking about positioning, but awkward for him.
Crashdown's going to come out. Death charge used as well. He's going to have the aftershock.
Rồi, Jun nằm nữa, Jun lại nằm nữa, Jun ơi. Jun không qua rồi mọi người à.
Drake up in 16 seconds. Not great timing there from Jun. It's the second time this game we've seen a support caught out with an objective on the cards for either team.
I mean, let's not forget Jun also hex flashed underneath the tower bot lane. Obviously, that was a coordinated play, but coordination wasn't quite there from GX earlier on.
It's mildly off as the equalizer comes out from Tau. Just clearing this wave. Unstoppable Onslaught will get locked to safety. That's kind of all he wants to do. Make sure he's got the push in, get the ultimate out of Tau, and then makes it a lot harder for Tau to influence the other parts of the fight. Drake will be taken by KCB. Giant X not going to contest it. without their support, who is been one of their primary engage tools in most of these fights. His dredge lines have been on point, as you say, has been caught out a couple of times.
Chắc ăn được bọn Viking thôi. Khả năng là chỉ ăn được bọn Viking thôi. Gặp bọn DSG, gặp bọn DSG nó quýnh cho gọi là xui mau ra luôn. DSG đúng không?
We're just continuing to see why Azir is such a staple in the pro play. He does everything: side lane, wave clear, scaling, engage, disengage. He's the whole parcel. Soon he'll be a jungler, I'm sure.
I'm just very glad he never went through the Victor grasp with the Undying. Oh, did he? Was there a Azir
He's
grasp?
played, yes, he has. He's played every keystone as well. There is
no Guardian though. You leave that to Impact as Yukino gets hooked with the dredge line. He's going to land the Dark in blade. Ripto's going to charge in here and take out the tower, but Yukino's able to escape from the Cataclysm. Still the turret going over to Giant X, and Isma.
He's going really for red buff. He's using it to get to his counts faster. Is that even faster?
Probably.
Probably.
I think if he'd actually avoided the wall, it would have been a lot faster.
Maybe.
But yeah, in the end, Ripto wasn't really going to get a second charge in anyway, so he's just to get to his red buff as quickly as possible. And a 3,000 lead for Giant, 3,000 gold lead for Giant X. Tao is almost 2k ahead on this Rumble. He's kind of the small breath of light for KCB with the Bloodletters and the Andrews complete. If that sticks, if that sits on Jackie's, on Noah, I mean on anyone, for Giant X, is going to burn them pretty rapidly. Only Lot really with the tankiness to survive through it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of looking for ways in which KCB can come back into this game, and ultimately it's that unfortunate position where you're relying on your opponents making a mistake. It feels like this Azir is just far too strong. Noah has too much of a lead on the Kai'Sa.
Mẹ tầm này không biết đánh khi nào mới về được 11 kill.
Unless you can one shot one of these carries, it's going to be a difficult play, and they've already set their sights onto Camilo once again. He will clear out that wave quickly enough though that he's going to be able to get away to safety. Camilo can smell that there is a jungler in the area. He's already experienced it enough in this game. Ward's going to be dropped by Prime, but that'll be quickly cleared out as GX continue to control this top side.
Yukino using the time to try and get himself some more gold. Steals away the bottom side. Scuttle Crab was looking for the Razor Beaks as well, but now looks towards mid. If they can get Noah, it's a big kill for them. TP coming behind as well.
Gì? Cái trừ không phải hỏi về, không phải hỏi em Jun đó. Mẹ em Jun đánh cho cút cái trừ rồi. Hết em Jun tới em ít ma rồi. Anh ít ma combo kỳ kích quy trước e sau. Anh ít ma gọi là combo kỳ kích quy trước e sau. Rõ chó.
Want a little bit of spice, Noah.
It's
so red. It is very slow. No flame spitter being used by Tao, holding on to the spells in case a fight.
Kéo trúng không? Không kéo trúng ai cả. Ulti của Lót, sao Lót không lũi vô luôn Lót ơi? Mẹ Lót ngáo rồi anh em ơi. Lót ngáo rồi, cứu. Nhưng mà ở đây con Azir bị bắt lại. Jackie nằm xuống. Lót cũng nằm. KCB đang muốn có với mình con Baron này. Khả năng cao là có nha. Triple kill. Có luôn con Baron. Thôi lõ cái cậu. Lõ cái trừ.
Hang on just a minute now.
Lỡ cái trừ anh em ơi.
KCB have just found a beautiful team fight around the Baron, and what was a 3k gold lead has been reduced to 500. Isma gets caught with a nice TP and collapse coming through from Camilo as well. Isma burns an early flash, Prime catches him out, and all 5 members are grouped up around the Baron. Now, all Jets need to do is use their range, but it's hard. Look at the positioning of Jackie's. The knockback that's going to come through from Camilo is the key difference maker. Here it is, connects to the crash down. We're back at the live.
Caught again. Locked up in the Magnet Storm, no escape for him.
What's going on?
Drake's up in a minute's time. KCB have evened out the gold. They have 2 Drakes to 1. And like, what? Yukino is 7-1 on this Aatrox, Betty.
I mean, this is why GX is a really frustrating team for me. Like, I want to say they're good, but they do this stuff all the time.
Liverpool với Man City đã nãy giờ chưa có bạn nào. Là xỉu 3 trái 25.
Like, it doesn't even feel like they're setting up for a play in mind and then a team punches them in that setup. KCB,
em Jun một mình em Jun fit mẹ 4 mạng. Không 4.
This doesn't make any sense. I'll take the kill, I'll take the Baron. The goal difference is now gone. And also the thing about these,
toàn là các thợ thôi, toàn là các thợ phụ thôi, không thấy thợ chính đâu, toàn là thợ phụ thôi.
You've now got an Aatrox with who was a level behind, now the same as Isma. You've got Camilo who is still about half a level behind, but Hazel a full level up on Noah as well.
I think all credit to KCB. We talked about it in the draft. Their mid-game decision-making has been where they faltered a lot of the time. And here, they've made a couple of really good mid-game decisions.
Well, here we go.
Now they're starting up the Drake. Isma in the back of the pit. Weaver's wall out will separate Noah and Jackie's. Isma needs to get out as well as Noah dives in with a killer instinct. Hazel able to dodge across the wall. The damage on top.
Tầm này, ôi giời ơi, thua thiệt luôn anh em ơi. Có một cái hũ siêu to, siêu khổng lồ cho anh em. Cái hũ mình line này phải nhân 8-9 chấm.
Meanwhile, let's have a look at the Drake because Noah's just going to die to Tao anyways. Drake was taken and is by KCB. Noah able to escape and was divided onto Kamilu. The flag and drag in. Yukino needs to do a lot of work here because there's 2 damage dealers to 1. Prime runs for the hills as Yukino escapes as well. In the end, KCB get the Drake and most of them get out alive.
I mean, it's a 3 for 2, but again, you put yourself on sole point now. Yukino continues to get stronger. This Aatrox is becoming a real problem, but the coordination from GX, I mean,
I'd have to have another look at the fight.
Yeah.
That was just a clump of messiness.
It certainly was. I mean, I can tell you right now, Jarvan ultimate on top of a Rumble ultimate. That Rumble ain't yours.
Jackie has to realize here, Isma's on his way across as well, and Tao now needs to get out because there's a TP behind him. Prime is coming in to try and help out his top laner, but wisely decides to back away. One death is still Prime, and it's all that KCB will give up in this bot side.
So a bit of a blunder there from Tao. His team can't really cross-map anyway. He overstayed his welcome on the bot side, and he's going to lose his life as a result. We look back at this fight. A great ulti from Kamilu. Noah's forced to ult early. He almost takes out Hazel, but this Rumble ultimate is fantastic, forcing the Jarvan out early. Jackie's, bear in mind, really isn't involved in this fight at all.
I actually think the killer instinct from Noah puts him on entirely the wrong side of the fight.
Yeah, I mean,
he's separated from his entire team. Jackie's can't get in with the Emperor's Divide, and so he's just left away from the fight the entire time.
Well,
Nothing he can do.
I have to imagine his logic is, I think that we can shot Hazel.
Bác thợ phụ của em Long.
Beautifully dashes over the wall. Jun then force flashed over the wall to try and follow it up. They do end up getting the kill because Noah gets a nice snipe. But yeah, I mean, that was an overforce.
Bọn gỡ.
I mean, it does feel like
nói thiệt em nói bọn gỡ.
coming through the
Bọn
way
giống
they
toán
approach
lắm.
some of these fights. The fact that they would so
Sao mà thua được với KCB ngu vậy?
Jackies really can't get involved is, I mean, you need this Azir in these fights.
Maybe just a little bit of miscommunication as well. Jackie's does still have a 4K lead over
That's
Kamilu.
what I mean, yeah.
And Noah still has a 2,000 gold lead as well. He's almost a whole item up. It's going to be Dusk and Dawn next for Noah. He's gone Kraken, Ginsu's and Nash's Tooth. Hazel scaling into the game, albeit slowly with 3 items himself. But Tao and Yukino, the game on their backs for KCB as Isma begins to step in here. Next Baron up in about 80 seconds time. Tao will get another tower and a level lead over Lot. In fact, an entire level for him as Isma here with the Guardian Angel just dashes away. Prime and Yukino are looking for something here.
Whoa.
Yukino going in very deep. There's the Cataclysm as well with the Weaver's Wall. TP coming in from Tao. Yukino has to flash out, even using that World Ender. Jackie's caught up in the Magnus Storm, the Equalizer on top of it as well. The Emperor's Divide will buy him a bit of time, but he's going to burn.
Tầm này bên phía cũng KCB nó mạnh rồi. Giao tranh nó dễ hơn cái bên phía của thằng Gết này nhiều.
Managed to extricate themselves from the situation, and they'll have a TP advantage with Lot having used his. Tao having used his to get into the fight.
The only problem I see for KCB is that was a big commitment of resources. So Prime.
Mà thua mẹ mày đấy chứ trừ không về được, mày thua mẹ mày game luôn đi đúng không mọi người ạ? Không về được trừ thua luôn game. 6 phút nữa được không Long? Cơ hội ở thời điểm hiện tại là đang có, không biết hồi nữa. Không biết sau con Baron như thế nào.
But if we think about the hardest part of this comp, it's getting on top of that Azir.
Agreed.
So we'll see how much it impacts. I think Tao's going to have to be very deliberate with his ultimate. I'd like to see him just focus on Jackie's to make it as hard as possible for this Azir to play the fight, because as you highlighted earlier, 3.5k is the gold lead, a death cap finish on him. He's working towards the Void Staff. This is the man you need to deal with, and I mean, Tao's in a position to do it.
Yes, he is. Yukino burning his flash alongside Isma in that last play as well means that this won't be up for the Baron that has now spawned. For KCB, what a way to leave LEC versus if they manage to pick up.
Đừng hãy thua sau 6 phút nữa. Cố gắng phù hộ, cố gắng phù hộ.
Still a team sitting at 6 and 4. Still a team that've been battling at the top of the table for the entire split. Giant X, they clip the Baron, but don't really want to go all in on it. They'll clear out the ward in the back of the pit. Jackie's will take that one down.
I do want to come back to this draft conversation a little bit, though, because, again, like, I think we're seeing more and more how the comp wants to just do two different things. You've got a Sion and a Azir that want to play a front-to-back, and you've got a Kai'Sa and a Jarvan that want to dive on the back line, and you've got Norlis that kind of has to decide between which of the two does he actually play towards. And I think this is how KCB can take advantage of GX in the fights, because every time they dive into an Aatrox, I feel like Yukino is very happy. When you close the distance against this champ, it makes it much easier for him to execute. But right now, we're facing off in the mid lane.
Camilo's going to get chipped out. There's the Cataclysm in as Hazel now needs to get out. Depth charge onto him as well. We'll knock up Yukino, who's used that World Ender shield on him. We'll pop him up and keep him alive for now, but Drake up in 3 seconds, and Giant X have forced KCB away.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a quick engage from GX.
Con Kai'Sa nó gáp thằng Hazel nhiều nha. Gate vẫn win được, Gate vẫn win được.
Chunks them down. And that's the Azir utilizing the range to his advantage. Good damage initially, makes it very difficult for KCB to approach the objective, and ultimately it denies the soul away. Now Baron becomes the main point of contention. Both teams going to continue to scale up as that 4th item now going to be completed for Noah. A very scary Kai'Sa indeed. Still a level behind Hazel, who's, I mean, very much a threat of his own. He wants to get a little bit more gold to complete that Infinity Edge. Once he gets it, I feel like he's going to start melting that Jarvan.
Really is. If you're a Na'Vi or a Vitality fan sitting at home, you're actually cheering for KCB in this game. We talked a little bit about how we don't quite know exactly where teams will be placed in the playoffs. If KCB win, Na'Vi will end up 2nd and Vitality will end up 3rd. We wouldn't be sure of where Giant X finish until later results. If Giant X win, it's all still a little bit up in the air depending on where teams place around them. But now Giant X are using the tools in their arsenal. 4 items on Noah with that Dusk and Dawn complete. Almost 4 as well for Jackie. He must be so close to finishing that Void Staff. It's been sitting on that component Lightning Jewel for a while. And there we are. I expect Void Staff on this recall. Noah's going to start up the Baron with Dusk and Dawn and the Plasma procs going.
Oh, they're melting this.
Goes down so quickly. Vision needed for Yukino. Has the control. Puts it in the back of the pit. Can try and Umbral Trespass across.
Gỡ thằng Baron này. Gỡ mang đi con Baron này. Khả năng cao rất lực được nha. Lực không? Gỡ không ăn được con Baron này. Gỡ cút rồi anh em ơi. Tập này thì KCB free shot. Xong. Thua luôn game đến từ bên phía của Gỡ. Này thì trừ 10.5. Trừ 10.5. Trừ 10.5. Trừ này.
KCB take a bow.
Khinh người vào cái kết.
Flawless execution from KCB. A perfect ult from Prime into a perfect team fight and a Baron steal to be the icing on the cake. Just like that, KCB is going to end the game.
What a moment for KCB taking down Giant X in their final game of LEC versus. What a fight. What a way to close it out. They'll go back to the LFL, but for now they are victors in the LEC. KCB continue to build the blue wall.
I mean, what a way to end the versus.
Khinh người vào cái kết mọi người ạ.
With where they placed, but my goodness, some names on this roster have had some serious impact. I think Prime has made great plays, but what a way to end the split like that. Yukino a 7-1-8 scoreline, but to also steal the Baron, be a key carry throughout that game. There are players on this roster that I expect we will see again in the future in the LEC. There is a lot of potential here. GX, they play with a little bit too much confidence, and KCB managed to punish them.
And they take their final bow for now. On the stage, you can vote for one of them in your player of the game. Vote at LEC on X. Yukino, Camilo, and Prime are your options for that game. It's hard to look past 7-1 and 8 on Aatrox. He did get all the early kills, but Yukino had a Stormer. Prime as well with that Magnet Storm. Had a couple of mishaps early in the game, but after that, like he was part of the team that caught out the Jarvan for the first Baron, then he gets the Magnet Storm at the end. Great stuff all around from the men in blue.
I mean, it's just nice for the players as well. To end their split on a win. Again, 2 wins across the split is going to be frustrating, but still. As we said, expectations, the situation they found themselves in coming into the split was not an easy one, and they should hold their heads high, because I think a lot of these players did showcase really high-level performances throughout the split. Prime is definitely a player I'm keeping my eyes on. He's been competing for an incredibly long time, bouncing from team to team in the ERLs, and I'm excited to see what his future looks like.
Yeah, well, we're going to send it down to Law, who's standing by with Yukino for KCB's farewell.
Thank you so much, guys. Berlin, one more time for KCB, please. Yukino, thank you so much for joining me. I interviewed you in the LFL, I interviewed you in the LEC this time around. It has been a pleasure having you guys in the league, but talk me through your experience during those 4 weeks playing on this stage. How was it for you, even if the results were maybe not the ones you expected?
Well, it was definitely a humbling experience for me. I mean, I definitely thought when I was going to LEC, I would actually win against some teams. Yeah. But it was like definitely hurt. I mean, I'm happy that the last game, like, we won, you know? Like, right? I feel like I played a pretty good game. Yesterday, I feel like the worst game of... I feel like I played the worst game, so kind of like today I was... Even though like we're out of playoff, like I still want to show people that I deserve to be here, right? Yeah. So I definitely think that's what I did today. You got the peak LEC experience, winning against the top 2 team, losing yesterday for what happened. What do you feel like you've learned the most as a jungler here, playing against the best in Europe? I mean, definitely like a lot of the aggressive plays that I do, I can't really do as much because the second I mess up once, I feel like I'm really behind on enemy jungler. So I feel like I'm spending a lot more time just farming my own jungle, like just farming the Raptors, farming the Krugs. So, I mean, I feel like that's why I learned the most, like how to be more efficient, because I definitely think that I'm not really efficient. Like when it comes to fighting, I'm really strong, but before then, like, yeah, like I had a lot I needed to work on, especially like my early to mid game. So definitely that, yeah. I feel like it's gonna be pretty easy for you guys going back in LFL now. You agree? I mean, I definitely agree. Like, I mean, we showed really strong early games versus a lot of the LEC teams. So, and in LFL, like I expect that would just win us games. Like in LEC, people are more experienced. So even if we're ahead early, like I love it. We're kind of a new team, so we just get stomped in mid game. But I think it'll be way easier when we go back, yeah. And I know it's just the beginning of the journey for you, Yukino. We will see you back on this stage. I have no doubts about this. I want to give you the final thoughts. You see this camera, it's on. Any words that you want to give either to the fans or maybe to the LFL teams, because they better watch out when you're coming back. I mean, thank you for all the fans for supporting us, especially the KC fans. Like, I mean, we didn't really do the best, in my opinion. Like, I had definitely had more expectations on myself that I could be the difference maker and getting us some wins for LEC. But nonetheless, thank you guys for the support. And thank you for being with us for those past 4 weeks, Yukino. Until next time, and best of luck for the rest in the LFL. That's all for us here for now. We'll be right back after the break. It's going to be Shifters versus SK. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Referee, you will be sad because it's last game for us? I can't say if I'm sad or not. I can't show any bias. Yeah, but you can say if you're sad that you will not see us thing, you know?
Yeah, it's not really biased.
It's not biased, yeah. It is.
Kill him un peu. Aatrox tout. Nice. Good job. I'm stuck in the pit now. Azir, no flash.
Nice, Cyan. Careful Kai'Sa.
Nice, finish.
Can you guys finish? Oh yeah, I'll finish.
It's you, bro. Yeah, I have to.
What an incredible play there from...
Oh, that was incredible. You love to see it.
Right, yeah, let's really
What
get into...
a move! He's just so good. I mean, the persistence, the patience to find the angle. You just don't see that from rookie. I think he's got it all. He's got the bad.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Ooh, that looks good. Do you want to maybe share a little bit? Yeah.
What a move.
Hey there. Every season starts the same way. Everyone wants to win. But not everyone prepares the same way. I can't wait to show you what I have in store. And trust me, this year, everyone's leveling up.
Is he switching lanes?
Welcome back to the LEC ahead of Shifters versus SK. Now heading into this match, SK are playing for pride as they've already been eliminated for playoffs contention. All of the stakes sit with Shifters. For Shifters, a loss spells elimination, and even if they win, they're not guaranteed in. For a chance to qualify, they both need to win, and between the combination of Na'Vi, KC, and G2, they need 2 of those teams to win as well. Now, before we get into the game, Lore caught up with Trimby. Let's see what he had to say about this pivotal matchup.
Trimby, thank you so much for joining me ahead of this last day of regular season. A weird one for you because unlike other teams, your fate is not in your own hands. So what is the mindset? What is the focus for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I was a bit worried this week when it came to like the fact that we didn't do so well, and then we didn't really, as you said, have much options outside of just winning. But then we just came into this week more like, at the end of the day, we still need to win those 2 games. And if the fate decides that, you know, it's our chance to be in playoffs, so be it. And I hope it will be for us.
So focusing on you guys, looking at it from the outside, the games look better, but I still don't see the stability that I want to see in Shifters. Do you agree on this? And what have been your struggles so far to get there?
Yeah, I think the main issues that we had was like just maintaining like the advantages that we sometimes gain, and as well just being able to close out the games, right? Because I think we had a lot of games where it did look like it was on our favor, and then we just pretty much threw it away.
And looking at it, it feels like there's a lot of strong voices within Shifters, so too many cooks, maybe, sometimes in clutch moments?
I think so, and I mean, for sure in that regard, I think also the fact that even though we have so many cooks, I feel like if one decides to cook something up, doesn't feel like everyone follows it 100%. And I think that's been for sure something that has been bothering us. And I hope that, you know, with this game coming up against SK, we'll be able to showcase that we can play clean game. Because versus them specifically, like for sure, it's not gonna be it's gonna be a messy one, I believe. So I hope we can we can come out on top.
That's the thing, SK, they're eliminated. They have nothing to lose. Knowing these guys, they're gonna have egos and they're gonna want to fight. So what should you guys be careful about specifically when it comes to SK? Maybe a specific player?
I mean, I played with Wunder quite a bit. I think he's been the most consistent out of all of them. And I think him and Mickey are the cooks, I would say, of their team. So I'll definitely be looking out for this, because especially in scrims, a lot of times we would banter around the champions and the way they play. So yeah, I hope that they show a little bit, because I'm definitely prepared for those.
I think all chat is the way here against them.
I mean, I will do so. When it comes to competitive games, I don't all chat that much, because I feel like karma strikes back so fast to you when you all chat. So I try to avoid it. But if I see something funny, and I will definitely chat with Wunder to give some content for all of you guys.
Trimby, thank you so much. Best of luck today.
And it's back to us as we're getting ready for Shifters versus SK. As has been said, SK out. They are eliminated. If Shifters win, they need 2 of Na'Vi, KC, and G2 to also win for them to make it into playoffs.
It's not an easy route for Shifters, but in order to even open that path, they need a victory today.
Yep.
And SK, they must be feeling frustrated after how yesterday transpired, which means that they will likely be giving it their all to get a win over Shifters today.
Or Mickey Gragas mid, Pyke support.
I very much don't expect. I mean, Pyke's support seems realistic for Mickey.
You know, I wouldn't mind some spice from SK. Bring out some of the old dogs, you know, see if we can teach new tricks.
Sister đánh với lại SK Gaming nào.
Katarina, give me the Silas.
See, that's what I like, you know, a little bit of.
They banned Aurelia.
Fuego. They banned Aurelia, they banned Varus and Rumble for Shifters. Cassio,
Mang này đủ điểm vào lại hợp nó làm trò hả? Thằng Sister này cần điểm nha. Sister này cần điểm nha. Sister phải thắng trận này nha mọi người.
They do have 100% win rate on it this split, buddy.
Don't they have one game on?
Yes.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can I refute that argument?
I mean, it's just maths, you know.
It's just maths. Will we see the Yunara response into? Well, there's no Rumble, which means it's probably what? Xin, maybe? Pantheon?
Yeah, can't go for the Jarvan either. Ricardo's Vi is banned out. I mean, you could go for something like the Skarner. Though I think that's going to struggle a little bit into Azir.
Well, it can, for sure. Depends what you pair it with support, probably.
I mean, sure.
If you have, like, Nautilus, it's probably fine.
Could also just look for a mid-pick if you want to go Talia here.
Yeah, Talia's also okay. Oh, Wukong.
Yeah,
I
Wukong.
feel like we haven't seen Wukong for a while.
It's very possible. Ricardo has played it a couple of times this split.
No, that I agree with, but I feel like just Wukong has kind of dipped out of the meta a lot more recently from what I recall.
Yeah, I can have a quick look. It was played Na'Vi versus Giant X.
Thằng Sister là cần phải thắng trận này nè. Triệu số đang là 4-6. Có Yunara có ngộ không nè.
18 games is a lot of games. Okay,
only once last week, and then before
Bích thêm một con nữa sẽ là được kích Halo Ilonia nha. Bích thêm một Ilonia nó được kích by Ilonia.
Annoyed at SK.
Why?
Because they could have picked Rakan first and then Xayah.
Đang đó mọi người ạ.
And then
Đang
the
đó.
portraits would match.
Yeah.
And they went Xayah Rakan. Like they had all the opportunity to have it be one synergy across the two champs.
Oh, I get that.
And there's the Talia. So kind of what we expect in the mid lane. The Wukong does have quite a lot of CC as the game goes on with that Cyclone, or at least can get on the back line. I think Wukong Rakan is a great partnership, so I'm not surprised that SK decided to get rid of that by picking the Xayah Rakan themselves. It's also Mickey's Rakan. They have 100% win rate on it this split, buddy.
Again, is it one game?
It is one game.
Was he perhaps playing Rakan?
Yoppa also has 100% win rate on Xayah.
I'm starting to think this might be the draft that they won on.
I will have a look. It is so far.
Yeah, it's
the important thing is.
Yeah.
Talia thì là Surima rồi. Mancute nhìn hơi ngỡ em Long à. Trời ơi, đi cái tài anh em ơi.
a decent amount of drafts are quite predictable right now.
I mean, it's best of one, right? Like.
You say that. I feel like when we move to Fearless,
Đã lăng là như vậy rồi.
shift that much.
Nhưng mà còn cái SK thì được.
After that, there'll be a few
SK này em nghĩ là hơi khoai. Tại vì trận này Sister đánh căng tay nó win. Sister đánh căng tay nó win mọi người ạ. Nó đang là 4-6 nó win một trận nữa thì nó sẽ 5-6.
Okay, okay, we'll worry about that when we get to it.
Okay.
For now, let's think about what else they could ban. Another support, perhaps? Nope,
Renekton. It kind of implies an Ambessa. Like, Renekton very good in
Thằng Vitality bắn toàn để bị lật nha.
Trận
này đánh trừ được nha. Trận này đánh trừ được. Trận trước không được nhưng mà trận này được nha các tình yêu ơi.
Casante, and they just think that Rooster will go for Renekton top as a response to it.
It's possible.
Nico is the hover right now to give.
Trận trước không được nhưng mà trận này là sẽ được nha.
Paddock a little bit more of a stronger 2v2 in the bot side of the map. But Alistair can also work if they want to go for that instead. And looks like they're going to go for that instead. All right. I mean, isn't Nico better into Zaya?
No, because you pop Blossom to just ults.
Yeah.
Right, so. We'll see where SK decide to go. It looks like they're going jungle as their first.
Game 1 SFT trừ 4.5 nha. 3.5 4.5 nữa. Sẵn TF đang là 3.5 SFT. Đến với cái tên SK Gaming, SFT trừ nha mọi người. Trừ 4.5 nha.
So it was almost certainly a Mundo jungle. This is very straightforward front to back. I also think that normally I would say I don't love dive when you're playing with an Azir, but I think that in the context of Ambessa, it's fine, especially when you have a Rakan beside you, because at least they can work together a little bit. Ambessa is very much going to play in isolation, looking for picks, whereas the rest of the team comp is going to play more of that front-to-back style. Shifters do have decent skirmishing once they hit level 6. Their scaling also isn't that bad. We're going to see a return of the Rek'Sai towards top lane for Rooster. Very much just a neutralizing tank matchup towards that side.
Yeah, you have so much sustain as Rek'Sai. Flandre shows it off incredibly well. All of his
Leader đánh con AZ mọi người à.
Tops in the world.
Mundo Amressa AZ, Rakan Saya.
Cookie cutter. It wants the team fight, it wants to scale, it wants to take its time. Shifters, they do.
SFT trừ đó.
Căng
tay nè, trận này căng tay.
But I think that their scaling is something like ultimately both comps want to do very similar things. They'll just do it in different ways.
Yeah.
Mundo is going to be the biggest problem for them, which means that Yunara, if they keep her down, then
how do you get through the Mundo?
How do you get through the Mundo, right? So the Talia wall is going to be really important. Where Wukong chooses to focus is going to be really important. There are a lot of threats onto this Azir. Wukong plus Rek'Sai have very easy access onto the Azir, and while all that chaos is going on, Talia is going to try and shift you with a rock. So you've got to be cautious of a lot of things that'll be.
You have to be able to smell what she's cooking.
Absolutely.
Otherwise you will get shifted.
Absolutely. So shifters need a win. Shifters need this win. Whereas SK, I mean, they're mainly just playing spoiler. After their defeat yesterday to LR, they're out of playoffs. They're going to be looking forward towards spring. And to hopefully end the split on a high note.
Yeah, which KCB just showed us that you can do.
Absolutely.
Victory over Giant X for SK. You know, finishing 4-7, much more respectable.
I mean, you could say, depending on who you ask, today could be the day of upsets. KCB winning, Vitality winning. Again, I said depending on who you ask.
I think
I did say that specific wording.
Like, Lost Returns, I think, still went into that game as underdogs.
Absolutely.
Tầm này đầu game vô là chơi nhẹ thôi. Không có những tình huống mà trao đổi căng tay đâu.
So we're just asking people that don't.
Chiều đến từ hai bên.
No, I think Kadril would have said.
Nah, he wouldn't.
Honestly, I think he would have said they were the underdogs.
Nah, he wouldn't have.
Okay. Okay, I get you. You can go ask him now if you want.
No.
He's probably listening. Actually, Kadril, can you type in your chat and we can bring it up on the screen?
We could actually, yeah.
And then we know whether you thought you were the underdogs or not. It would be a little bit like, if he now comes out and says, no, we should have thrashed them. Like, obviously, he's not going to say that. Anyway, we see Mickey using the Gleaming Quill here early to make sure that Yoppa and he are topped up. Something you can do.
Vẫn chỉ là gọi là chạy nhẹ, có lợi thế hơn cho bên phía của SK Gaming mọi người.
Oh yeah, just about
yeeted. Have this imagery of just, you know, a bird landing on like a cow in a field, and the cow just that sound effect. No, Zai, get over there. Early push going to be gained by Nuke in the mid lane, kind of as we expect from this matchup, and it's the Same old, same old. Level 6, Azia. You know,
has some threat.
Seeing, I was talking to Jack about this yesterday. He was like, you know, we tolerated this for years.
Yeah, it was
one of those things where, like, now that people have tasted Fearless, they're all just like, wait, we watched these same matchups.
And, like, from the same players for a full best of 5.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, in this one, will they not do the salty run back?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the salty run back was the best thing about it.
Oh, yeah.
When you'd see a team run it back, there was that super famous one where they ran it. I say super famous. I don't even remember who was playing. But, like, they tried it, like...
3 games in a row.
Yeah, no, but the third game they changed, like, 1 or 2 things. Like, their bot and mid were the same or something.
Thằng leader này.
Good times. Like, what's
Rồi, trường lên đến từ chiếc router nè. Cào vào window mọi người à.
We didn't know how good it could be.
That's true, but now we do.
And Skeens goes through his first jungle clear very rapidly, something that Mundo really excels at doing already towards where that Scuttle Crab will spawn.
Khó nha, những cái gọi là cái trừ đánh trận nào cũng thấy khó. Dạ này đánh kêu đánh trừ, này đánh trận nào cũng phải rung.
Both of them left one baby Krug alive to tell the tale of the murder of the rest of the Krug camp, which is something I see a lot of junglers do in the LEC, and I'm just like, man, there's a lot of XP and gold.
It's efficiency,
in that
man.
Krug.
It's efficiency.
But is it really that much more efficient? He was there like 15 seconds before the Scuttle Crab even spawned.
I think so.
So we're just appealing to authority, are we
Absolutely,
now?
yeah.
Okay.
Who am I to question the will of the junglers?
You're an analyst, Veli.
Yeah, no,
You're allowed to do that.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring that back up, but...
Oh, Picardo maybe looking to steal away these Krugs, just puts a ward on them instead. And he's got a ward towards the Razor Beast as well, so we'll be able to track Skeens through his next jungle clear pretty easily. Leader is TPing to the mid lane, and Picardo is here, flashed away from Leader, yep. The bird flew in and immediately realized, not really where I want to be.
That was a wise flash, I would say. Mainly because...
A bad TP, though.
Yes, absolutely. Because some may say, well, I don't know if they would have had the damage, which means that, okay, he was going to flash anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're going to flash anyway, you may as well keep your HP while you're doing it, right?
Yeah, because otherwise you just use your teleport and your flash, and then you have to come back to the lane anyway. It's like, okay, well, I'll take another 30 seconds to get back here, I guess.
Rồi, mày gọi là bên phía của vị trí của Sitter này đánh. Em nói mọi người cũng ngu. Cũng ngu, thua với trở lên ta lên tên nhiều.
Just really good spacing as well, just that he knew there's this very brief moment whenever you last hit a minion that you have to stand still, especially if you're using a soldier to do it. And so Nuke just took advantage of that. Now, supports have made their way mid lane. Trimby here first, lying in wait on the trap ward. Mickey though, he doesn't care. He's going to face check.
I think this is the most animal League of Legends game we've had in a little while. We've got 3 birds on one side, and then a cow and a monkey on the other, you know?
Would Rek'Sai fall under...
Cái LEC này giờ đã ít kêu á. Mọi người coi và chuẩn bị trước tinh thần. Có được trận hồi nãy rằng này double nó fit mẹ mười mấy mạng, mình nó fit mười mấy mạng mới đủ.
I mean, that's why she has the tremor sense.
That does make a ton of sense.
Whole blind mold thing. A lot of the League of Legends champions are actually based off real life things.
That does logically.
Uống luôn, uống một lon chiêu không xỉn được đâu.
Rooster getting pushed in the top side, as he will just be able to dodge away. In the early game, relatively slow between these two teams. We'll remind you all of the stakes for Shifters. It's still not in their own hands.
Vẫn chỉ là gọi là đánh liêu ghiêu đến từ hai bên mọi người. Không đều, không đều. Liêu heo. Hai thằng này đánh gọi là trình tôi đó. SK Gaming thì già, Sitter thì trẻ.
You know, you'd be even with Shifters rather than be.
I mean, so my POV on SK is it's a long year, right?
Sure, because they're quite old and they're like every year they take as a blessing. Is that what you're going? Who knows when the knell of death?
Ba Đức này bên LCKCL phải không ta? Đúng rồi, Ba Đức bên LCKCL.
Failing here doesn't mean that your year is over, right? And so you should
bên
take every
KT
opportunity to get
LCKCL.
the maximum amount of practice that you can in anticipation of the future, because they've got to be thinking about spring now. And there's a lot of opportunity, and I mean, we know that Mickey really does believe in the potential of this roster, and I think we've seen some of that potential. Right? They've come very close to a number of games where they should have won. That GX game was frustrating to watch. Yesterday, it felt like the nerves got to them yesterday. You know, like they had a very solid lead, and then they just kind of let LR do whatever they want to do, and it cost them a lot. So
very miscoordinated in the fights.
Yeah.
Chỉ là một rồng cho bên phía của SK Gaming
I
thôi.
feel like that you've got to treat every opportunity as an opportunity to grow and figure out how you want to play together as a team. And again, like I'm not all doom and gloom.
Hất tung được con Rakan. Đánh không có đánh nhau mọi người ạ. Phút thứ 6 thứ 7 à.
But yeah, they're trying to end on a high. And hey, like as we mentioned earlier in the day, for some pros, denying their opposition can be just as fulfilling as granting your own success.
And we do look at like Wonder and Mickey, who have had such storied careers in the LEC, and think of this as, you know, an older team, a more experienced team. But Leader has only been in for 4 splits. Yopper just coming into the LEC. You know, Skeens hasn't been around for too long as well. So as you say,
player he has, but
thằng Rutter này đánh gọi là.
Yeah, exactly, right? So every time you get a chance to continue to improve and get those stage reps in, very important. As Mickey and Skeens will team up here.
Cũng khoai mọi người à, cũng khoai. Nhưng mà được cái con vợ này trẻ khỏe thôi. Trẻ khỏe nhưng mà hay không thì chưa biết nha.
And there's a small lead for Yopper down towards the bottom side. Mickey here can battle dance away. Nuke hit with a cleaver and dismounts his Weaver's wall.
No kill, 8 minutes in. Grub spawn, 5 seconds.
Lát mọi người. Có một cái chút xíu lát nữa. Cái này tại mở bằng cái YouTube á, lâu lâu nó bị đứng nhẹ một cái. Đấy, bình thường trở lại ngay, bình thường trở lại ngay. Bình thường trở lại ngay.
I am familiar with their names. No idea who they are.
From the UK. David Mitchell and
I do
James
know who
Webb.
they are, yes.
Yeah, and they do the snooker commentary. It's like, oh, that's a bad miss.
I see.
And Leader here missed 17 minions yesterday in the first 6 minutes of the game.
Oh.
Goes in, does get the flash out of Nuke.
Bad miss. Get the flash out though, so it's still worth.
A forced error there.
How many cigarettes have you smoked prior to
This is
using
what
this
I'm going
voice?
for,
Oh,
man.
I
It's the
see.
voice, you know?
I see, right.
Snooker commentators sitting there in their dark rooms.
Right, yes. Absolutely.
A few millennials from the UK with a very niche type humor would have got those jokes. The upper going in here with the ghost, looking for product. Puts down the Featherstorm, flash away, still gets him with the blades. The upper.
Vừa mới quay đi một cái có cái chiến công đầu dành cho vị trí của con Seiya mọi người ạ. Vừa mới quay đi một cái thì Seiya có chiến công đầu. Ba đúc là người nằm xuống nha. Ba đúc là người nằm xuống. Bukada ăn được cho mình đó là 3 con sâu. Mấy chú này đánh không có đánh nhau. Được trên Ressa với con Abressa nó còn không thèm đánh nhau.
Yopper almost 1,000 gold ahead now. First Drake as well to SK. It allows them to play through that bot lane even more. No Featherstorm, no flash, but Product doesn't have his ultimate either, nor does he have that flash. Trimby looking towards the mid lane. Skin's going to try and chase him down. Mickey taking a little bit of a scenic route,
cái vị
dashing to
trí của
leader first.
Chibi.
Trimby forced low means that should be an easy enough Drake for SK. Trimby, though, does have time to reset and regenerate that HP bar before the Drake does spawn. Just gives Mickey a little bit of time to deny some vision. Does want to hit level 6, so isn't actually going to clear the ward. Instead, will go towards the bot lane, get the level 6, and then path back out towards the dragon you have to expect.
One of the things we heard Trimby talking about earlier was perhaps too many cooks in the kitchen, and someone has an idea. The team doesn't always want to follow it through, and I think that's probably been one of the most frustrating things to see about this team is, on paper, this roster has a lot of skill to it. I mean, we were having conversations at the beginning of the split. Should Rooster be in the conversation for one of the best top laners in our league? His laning is typically very strong.
Hạnh quyết công khai nè. Winder có một cái tình huống đép trụ anh em ơi. Xích nữa thì bị đối phương đấm.
Because Wonder dodged the Prey Seeker with his public execution as Mickey's caught but can dance away, it meant that Rooster wasn't tanking the tower. And so, because of that, Rooster able just to burrow his way to safety. Drake up. Still that quickness available for Mickey. He's going to use the Gleaming Quill to heal up. We'll take one Dragon auto from it, but still a net gain of HP. Nuke here, no flash. Mickey can look for the quickness. There's the Emperor's Divide. Stunned up by the Unraveled Earth, but still the charm going down onto Nuke.
Nút bị đấm. Nút bị đấm mọi người ơi. Nút chạy nè, có heal. Có qua tay lốc xoáy hỗ trợ luôn. Bukada gõ, có cái mạng của Mikit nè. Nhưng mà còn cái bất khuất trên người vị trí của Chibi thì vẫn sống mà chạy về thôi. Có một mạng cho bên phía của Sister nha. Gỡ từng mạng nha mọi người ạ. Gỡ từng mạng từ từ về cái trừ cho em. Về cái trừ cho em.
Which means that basically, once you're shuffled over the wall, you drop another soldier, but then Talia walks away. and you now have no tool to actually follow that through. So I think using the Q super early in that exchange. Oh, leader now has to flash as well. As Bukada finds a play. If we get a replay of that, we can look back at exactly how he executed.
Chỉ là những cái tình huống trao đổi nhỏ đến từ hai bên thôi. Có mạng thì chưa có liền đâu. Tại bọn này nó găng 3-4 thằng mới có mạng được.
In order to get the shuffle, but now you don't have the Q available. When it does come up, the fight's kind of already over again, and there's nothing really left. So he didn't have the damage. And again, you can understand the idea that you've got to commit that Q in order to get in range. But I question, like, perhaps using the flash earlier would have been the right play.
I think there's an argument for Mickey to pop the quickness in the bush, then E-flash onto Nuke, because Nuke didn't have flash, right? So he stunned himself going.
Rồi hất tung được cái vị trí của Mikit nữa nè. Mikit nó còn cái xuất hiện hành tráng nữa. Chạy được, còn xuất hiện hành tráng. Red Side đu theo luôn à. Có mạng không? Còn cái eo. Hết e anh em ơi. Chưa mổ được. Chạy được. Hai rồng nha. SK Gaming đánh chắc bắp mọi người ạ. Bên đây thì con AD ao 1k mấy tiền à. Đi gì vậy AD? Trận này đi cái trừ anh ơi. Đi cái sitter trừ nè. Đi cái sitter trừ nè. Thập diện mai phục. Hất tung liên tục ở trên không mọi người ạ. Thập diện mai phục. Ở đây thì bật cho mình cái ulti lên hồi máu kịp không? Bị hút về đến từ vị trí của Skin. Skin bị choáng. Sát thương dồn là có nha. Thêm một cái gọi là bổ pháp thần tốc. Bổ pháp thần tốc mọi người à. Mình cứu được đồng đội. 2-1 hơn tiền nhưng mà thua 2 con rồng. Cũng như không.
Turn around a gank in mid lane. They then force the flash out from leader. They then set their sights on top lane, secure the tower, get a kill, get the flash out from Skeens. Just a sequence of plays that all just went the way of Shifters means that now they've really opened up the map. They're in a much better position to contest the next Drake. Of course, Herald will be the next objective. But we look back at this, they have 4 members on the top side. There's nothing really anywhere else on the map for SK to cross map. Skeens is here to try and help, but with Mickey back in base, he's not in a position to help defend this dive, and with the tower falling, it doesn't result in an additional kill, but hey, they got what they wanted.
Skeens having to use the ultimate to get out here alongside the quickness from Mickey, investing a lot of resources just to make sure that Skeens survives the fight. And after we saw Yopper get that early kill in the 1v1, I thought perhaps we'd see more play from SK towards Yopper. Like, get him really fed on this Xayah. Still sitting on the Storm Razor, still has about a 700 gold lead, but he's the only one with one on his team right now, although leader slowly catching up to Nuke, a 1 gold difference down to 0. He'll be able to farm up those minions. Product able to force Yopper out, with Trimby waiting just around the corner in that bush. It would be a little bit dangerous for him to go in on the fight. Drake up in 2 minutes though. SK have been able to stack the first 2. Can try and play around that. For Shifters though, getting a little bit of a gold lead back in your favor, with Rooster being able to side lane threat onto Wonder in the 1v1.
2 đồng cho bên phía của SK mọi người ơi. Tầm này vẫn là 2-1 thôi, không có giao tranh. Hello em Long, hello anh Hồ Đắc Chí nha, chưa ngủ hả? Giờ này chưa ngủ, ngày mai đi làm hả anh? Vị trí của Wunder gõ liên tục mọi người à. Tầm này thì đầu game khúc này con Amressa đánh gọi là chưa lại vị trí của con Red Side thôi. Nhưng mà hồi level 15, 16 đủ tiền, đủ đồ thì con Amressa nó hơn nha mọi người. Mới thức mà ngủ gì em á. Anh không coi em mới nổi cái hũ CS2. Mới nổi cái hũ CS2 cho anh em trong nhóm. Ít 7.8 gì á. Fugia map 1 ít 7.25. 7.25 mọi người ạ. 2 gồng.
Drake up in 50 seconds. Mickey may be looking for the reset. Doesn't actually have any wards on his Celestial opposition right now, so would want to get back and be able to replenish any wards that are cleared out by Shifters.
Yeah, you can see that SK have made a very deliberate attempt.
Tại vì cái vị trí bên phía của Sitter này mạnh này cũng không mạnh mà yếu cũng không yếu. Cũng mấy thằng trẻ bên LCKCL làm chính. Vị trí thằng Nút thì cũng già, Chibi thì cũng thuộc dạng già đọc bài cho vị trí của thằng Ba Đúc với thằng Router nó đánh mọi người. Đánh AD top, đánh 2 code, 1 mid. Mid già, hỗ trợ.
Dragon now 10 seconds away. Rooster making a beeline towards that mid lane. has quick wave clear himself, but they're going to leave that to Baduk for now. They're also going to drop the Herald in mid to provide that extra pressure. Wonder's going to get a quick base off as the Dragon gets started off.
I think he not got those wards that he really wanted to stay around. SK are going to start up the Drake. There's the Hex Gate behind by Trimby. He looks for the engage. Emperor's Divide down on him, and Breakable will use as well alongside the Locket. Quickness, Charm into public execution.
Đấy, rồi. Có cho mình cái bùng lông ra nè, nhưng mà Mikit nằm xuống đầu tiên. Tiếp tục là trả lại cái mạng của Chimby, nhưng mà lao vào tiếp Zoba tốc biến chạy được, kẹt lại vị trí Wunder anh em ơi. Wunder một hit cũng chạy được tiếp. Skin thì sao đây? Skin vẫn còn cái nội tại, Skin cũng chạy được luôn. Giao tranh 1 đối 1, 2 SB hai bên nằm xuống. Nhưng mà không có mạng tiếp theo nha. Ủng hộ một view á thì quá yêu rồi. Thì quá yêu rồi. Ngày nào cũng vậy, ngày nào cũng vậy. Hồi nãy được view cơ, hồi nãy được gọi là 30 mấy gần 40 mà đang lên. Mẹ nó gõ cho một cái. Zoba chạy được không? Zoba còn máu nè. Con rồng ăn được đây, con rồng bên phía của SK mình ăn được. 3 rồng, Bà Đức xuất hiện hành trạng yếu máu từ vị trí của Bà Đức nhưng mà sát thương là không đủ. Rồi, trả lại một mạng anh em ơi, lại mất một rồng nữa. Hơn mạng thua 3 con rồng nha. Hồi nó phải có một cái giao tranh trước khi rồng ra. Trừng phạt 1-1 tàn thua. Mà con Mundo nó trâu, nó lủi vô cũng chả dứt điểm nó sớm được. Cũng về mo. Rồi hòa luôn cái trận Man City đá với lại Liverpool, hai thằng hàng công như vậy mà nó đá không đều. Đúng chúng ta nói rằng Erling Haaland chỉ gọi là đá với cái trận đấu nhỏ nhỏ thôi. Cho bố đá với trận to to, bố đá như cứt mọi người ạ.
I think decent damage comes out from both sides, and ultimately it's just a trade of supports as everyone is flashing for their lives right now. Then the reset happens on the
Skin yếu máu hồi nãy thằng Skin có cái nội tại của ulti, làm sao mà hại gục được nó. Sao cái kịch bản này quen giống hai cái xỉu vậy á. Chưa được, bên phía của SK nó còn đang thua tiền. Tầm này con rồng sâu Sister nó ăn được. Vẫn là Sister ăn, vẫn là Sister húp được mọi người ạ. Sister mà tên sau Sister ăn thì Sister vẫn ăn thôi. Ăn được một con đồng là xong. Lượng tiền hơn 2k mấy cái đội hình con Junara này nó chưởng con mẹ con Seiya chịu gì nói. Trời ơi, vừa mới nói nó rút lòng nửa bình rồi nè mà. Vừa mới nói rút lòng hết nửa bình. Khủng khiếp. Nhưng mà thế là hết rồi đó. Con Seiya bây giờ hình như cái e nó hồi lâu lắm. Rồi là bị lừa nè, lao vào lính và xây được từ vị trí của Bukada hay nha. Bukada mở qua đây hay, bắt được vị trí của Zoba, sau đó là vị trí của Mikuk thì cũng nằm luôn. 2 mạng. Anh em mình có cái trừ anh em ơi, anh em mình có cái trừ bảo trừ 4.5 mọi người ạ.
Basically, SK think that they can push out that mid wave after losing that tower, but then Shifters are quick to punish it. Excellent play from Shifters overall.
I saw something duck, and I was like, we're not doing Year of the Duck again, are we? He's not in this game, he's not even in the region. Then I realized Paddock now, it's the Year of the Duck.
That it is. Okay, let's not, no.
Bring it back.
We don't have to bring it back.
So have another look at this.
Yeah. And ultimately, SK's just trying to push out the wave. They don't expect this collapse to come through. The collapse is fast, and a nice shove back once Yoppa's ultimate wears off from Nuke to help secure that kill. Paddock gets the other one.
Gì đây? Thì ý là 2 xỉu, Sister win bằng Baron chứ ấy không win bằng linh hồn rồng á. Ui giời ơi. Sister win bằng Baron đó hả? Cũng hợp lý, 7-2 mà. Nghe em Long, MC cộng 0.5 chưa dám gọi đào á. Cứ ngồi bình tĩnh đi, hồi nữa nó mới về được, Đang 0-0 mà.
Behind the scenes, we did have really high expectations of him. Even last year, I think we saw a lot of his potential. But you give him some of these winning matchups, and he can do some serious damage with them.
Definitely managed to do it this game. Knockup happening.
Đang 0-0 mà, Trận này đang 7-2 mọi người, anh em mình có cái trừ nha. Rồi chưởng nè. Ba Đức chưởng bắt đầu là vô máu rồi nha. Vô máu vô thịt rồi nha mọi người ạ. Không còn gọi là chỉ là những cái tình huống mà gọi là khều nữa. Chưởng vô thịt rồi. 2 đồ. Để em ấn em tua cái cho mọi người coi. Lâu lâu tua cái cho nó bắt kịp lại. Lâu lâu mình coi xíu nó bị delay. Ít 2 lên cho nó nhanh xíu nữa. Cho anh em bắt kịp. Gõ thua cho nhiều. Tết em Long có nhận lì xì nha, Tết em Long có nhận lì xì nha.
Faded Ashes. But yeah, he won't quite have that Leandri's in time. 40 seconds. I mean, he does have TP. If he can just get another wave, he might even be asking Yoppa, hey, give me this next wave. I think I can get Leandri's off the back of it.
Which would be huge as well, because if they do decide not to fight around the Drake, they could look for a sneaky Baron play.
Yeah. I mean, look at what they're doing on the minimap right now, Meta. You can see Yoppa actually pathing towards top. They're basically conceding pressure around this objective. Shifters haven't really got any vision around the Dragon for now. Trimby, he does have 4 wards available to him. He's not committed to anything just yet. I think they realize, I mean, they've got information as to where Yoppa is. They know that he's on that tower. He's going to be chipping away at that in the top lane. Trimby is not really giving SK any space for the time being.
Reaver's wall coming out. Yoppa's going to burn the ghost to make sure he escapes from any possible
Trời ơi,
collapse.
Vừa mới nói Liverpool nắc một trái mọi người ạ. Vừa mới nói là Liverpool nắc một trái rồi. Nhìn ba đúc em Long nhớ thằng Berserker không? Lòi Skyser là thằng Berserker là mùa này là cút rồi đó, mùa này là cút rồi đó. Mùa trước đánh cho DNF mọi người ạ. Ilonia meta mạnh em Long, gớm em Long vậy á. Mới đánh gì? Đánh SK ra quần luôn. Cái này bay luôn, mới có 2 Ilonia à. 2 Ilonia 1 hư không. 2 Ilonia 1 hư không à. Con Talia là Surima rồi. Talia là Surima rồi. Bên SK thì 1 Nosut, 1 Sugima, 2 Ilonia mọi người à. Có rồng rồi nè. Sitter có rồng là khả năng cao Sitter là trừ được.
Of the following 3 teams to win, Na'Vi, KC, or G2. So the thing about that is those results seem very doable, right? Na'Vi could definitely win. KC playing up against Heretics could definitely win. G2 against Fnatic, maybe a little bit more of a 50-50 with how both teams are playing right now, but you could see it happening. And you only need 2 or 3, so you've got to do all that you can to make sure you get into one of those playoff spots.
Shifters now setting their sights on this tower. Should be, well, an easy contest. They get 2 plates to themselves. Good damage comes down.
Con Mundo hệ quần gì á? Con Mundo là Yaun nha. Con Mundo là Yaun nha Quang Huy ơi. Con Mundo là Yaun nha. MC cộng 0.5 tính tiền luôn rồi em Long ơi. Bạn nó thua 1 trái rồi. Súp Bolai ghi bàn mọi người à. Cái tên khó đọc quá. Súp Bolai.
Maybe 80.
Yeah, because I seem to remember it being nerfed from 30 to 50.
Còn Mundo là Yaun. Yaun đấu sĩ.
If you're solo, obviously the armor has gone up. But if you're a team pushing to end, it's gone down.
Yeah.
Was the whole point. And that logically makes sense. Because basically if you win a team fight, you shouldn't be punished for trying to end the game.
So it used to be 20 to 100.
Nói chung là
So pretty significant nerf for a group.
Cái quả này á, cái quả này là thằng gọi là thằng Mi Cức phải nói là bây giờ nó xuống tay quá mọi người. Anh em nhìn 2 thằng SB, một thằng 017, một thằng 041 đánh SB, bạn hỗ trợ 1 thì không ai gục được. Mình lại nằm của mẹ nó 4 lần mọi người ạ. Mà đánh con Rakan mà nằm 4 lần thì cũng hơi khoai. Hơi khoai.
But you can see how Rooster on this side lane is definitely stronger. I didn't quite realize how effective Rek'Sai was as a counterpick to Ambessa, but
I mean, it helps when you have a like 1.5 to 2,000 gold lead in the mid game.
Yeah, but I feel like he was just doing this all laning phase, right?
True,
like he basically out-sustains the Ambessa and he just wins on short trades too. And then every time she tries to go in, knock up, trade, leave. So yeah, pretty interesting counter. I like seeing this stuff come through. Rooster constantly generating threat on a side lane.
7-2-3 rồng nha. 7-2-3 rồng. Một bên có mạng có tiền, một bên có rồng mọi người ạ. Hai bên chưa phân bua được cái chiến thắng đâu, chưa phân bua được.
The Azir has been able to catch bot, which Rooster's now going to catch, but with his TP available, Leader will be ready to join his team.
Yeah, Rooster has to be a bit more cautious because he has burnt that flash and ult, so he doesn't have those tools.
Nhớ hồi lúc trước, lúc MC bị dẫn thì auto nhồi liên tục tài gốc, bú đẫm VGL mà mùa này anh bỏ rồi á. Mùa này MC gà quá. MC mùa đó có thằng Erling Haaland nó phăm góc. Cứ nói mà giận là nó chui vô cái góc cho Erling Haaland. Cứ nói mà giận là nó chui vô góc cho Erling Haaland, đúng quằn mọi người à. Mà đợt này đá gọi là nó có dẫn được người ta đâu. Mới khổ bị bắt bài mà. Nói rồi anh em mà đứng ở tầm dưới á, không ai thèm nhìn hết đó. Anh em mà đứng trên gọi là trên đầu thì đương nhiên biết bao nhiêu thằng nhìn nó làm soi nó làm theo, đúng không?
Don't know that Giant Slayer has been added back onto Lord Dominic's regards because it wasn't there last year, so sometimes think perhaps it's not a good item into a Mundo, and you can argue that Grievous Wounds, if you can apply it readily, does make sense.
There's that third item finished for Yoppa as well. And pings are now being sent towards the dragon. So of course that soul threat still very real for shifters. They want to make sure SK don't get it because it's such a big
7-2, hơn 2k tiền thôi. Không quá là nhiều mọi người à. Cái cơ hội vẫn là còn dành cho bên phía của SK Gaming. Nếu như mà SK Gaming nó đánh đúng 3 con rồng, đánh cái được rồng nó thắng rồi. Mà AD nó có đồ. Quả sau thằng Linder với thằng AD nó được đánh mà, được đánh nên nó vẫn thắng được. Cái cơ hội vẫn là có. Thằng Ba Đức trong mặt cứ ngu ngu mọi người à.
Just wants the power for now with the next Drake coming up in 5 seconds time. You can see once again SK like, okay, if you want to control the bot side of the map, we are just going to walk our way up towards this Baron and actually going to start it off. It's Leader and Skeens doing it. Fast side automation does come in. We'll spot them out. So you can see how quickly this Baron does go down. Trimby knocked up. Bukada looking for the flank play. Weaver's wall out. Skeens sticking on this side of the wall. We'll keep the Baron aggroed. He's got help to work with. No soldiers in there right now. Rooster has come across to join the team with that TP. 6,000 now on the Baron as Shifters look to try and find a way into the fight. Rooster gets the knock up.
7-2, rồi trang vào Wunder nè. Tóc biển mà hất tung không được đến từ vị trí của Chimby. Chimby vừa mất cho mình được cái flash, vừa mất bất khuất và vừa mất chú Quy nữa. Tóc biển như một thằng đơn.
Trimby really wanted to try and force something. He messes up his combo. Flash into the pulverize does not connect onto anyone. Almost loses his life, so he has to burn that ulti quickly. This means that SK ultimately have, well, ulti advantage, I would say.
Leader did use his flash.
Yeah, that's the big one. The fact that they got the Azir flash could be huge for Bukada, who'll be looking for a target in the fight. He may have found one.
Tuyển thủ chuyên nghiệp bình thường mà, tuyển thủ chuyên nghiệp fail bình thường mà mọi người. Lâu lâu mọi người cho nó xử lý lọ chó cái chứ. Cứ cười thôi, cứ cười bạn thôi. Cái mùa này phải nói là ghê nhất là cái quả hôm nay. Nông Sim thua DX 3-0. Jinwoo đánh như vậy thì em feel gì cả đời như vậy luôn. Giao tranh rồi nào mọi người ơi. Hất tung được 2 người, Wunder hạ gục được 1, nhưng mà ở đây tràn vào Chimby kẹt lại. Có rồng cho bên phía của Sister, nhưng mà khả năng cao Sister mất khá là nhiều mạng mọi người à. 1, 2, 3 người đang nằm trên bảng điểm số rồi. Ăn được vị trí thằng Wunder thôi mà phải tóc biến lên ăn đến từ vị trí của Ba Đức thì thôi. Có tay. Đâu, Ba Đức không phải tóc biến lên ăn nha. Nhưng mà ăn Ba Đức cũng lạc lại luôn rồi. Rướng. Có rồng nhưng mà mất 3 mạng, chắc là mất Baron luôn chứ nhờ. Có AJ với lại Seiya thì khả năng cao là ăn được. Có AJ với Seiya, cái lượng DPS là cực kỳ nhiều đến từ bên phía của SK Gaming. Ăn được Baron đây, khả năng cao là bên phía của gọi là SK ăn được. Còn khả năng nhỏ thì cướp được nha, vẫn còn khả năng nhỏ cướp được nha. Nhưng mà chắc là mai cướp đến từ vị trí của Bukada khi mà phân chia thiên hạ tiến ra. Xong rồi xuất hiện hành tráng. Bukada bị đấm xém đi mọi người à. Thằng Linder đánh con AJ xanh thế nhờ. Thằng này nhìn biết đánh AJ đấy. Biết đánh AJ thế. Rooster làm cái gì vậy Rooster ơi. Thôi cô vợ Hàn Quốc trẻ này. Không ổn mọi người ạ, không ổn.
Okay, so a big advantage ultimately gained for SK.
Tuyển thủ chuyên nghiệp.
So Rooster's now in an awkward spot. He takes a Hexgate to create the flank. The ulti from Nuke kind of splits the fight in two as he finishes off the dragon. But Wonder finds a nice.
Quả này giao tranh, hai thằng bị dồn dậu mọi người, hai thằng bị dồn dậu. Ở đây bắt được cái vị trí của Talia rồi á, nhưng mà cái đội hình với chị nó bị chia ra. Không có ai đứng che cho thằng Yunara nó bắn kìa. Con gì tự nhiên quên cái tên ngang luôn mọi người. Con Red Side nó bị bò lên cái hang trên, nó phải đi vòng xuống, cho nên là gọi là tới không kịp để che chắn kiểu như vậy. Khoa sao tự nhiên cái trừ nó bắt đầu lại thấp thởm rồi mọi người, tự nhiên cái trừ lại thấp thởm của em Long.
Cryo in the mid lane here. Skeen's going to try and come across as well. Rooster, Baduk, and Nuke have got on towards this inhibitor tower. SK are the ones with the Baron, remember, and it's Leader who's pushing in the bottom side. Does still have that teleport to join up with a fight. Almost got the Rabadons. Should be able to take the tower himself down in that bottom lane, and a small gold lead begins to materialize for SK. The Shifters see things slip out of their grasp a little bit. This has happened a few times for them across the course of LEC versus against Giant X in weeks 1, against Lost Ratones.
Vẫn đâu đó là khoảng gọi là 3 con rồng cho bên phía của SK Gaming nha.
Things are starting to collapse a little bit again. 1.5k gold leads in mid and AD carry for SK. Rooster looking for the engage. Bukada doesn't have the flash but does have
gì đây?
A decoy and a
con Yamate Kudasai V Red Side V3. Con Red Side này nhìn vậy là nữ đúng không ta? Con Red Side là nữ đúng không ta? Hình như con Red Side là nữ đúng không mọi người? Cái gì đây? MC gọi đào hả? Một đều hả? Một đều. Cái gì đây? Bernardo, Mota, De, Cavajo.
I mean, they might. The quickest going out. Rooster's going to fall. Wonder on the right side of the wall as well, but Skeens joined by Mickey as they get knocked back with a seismic shove. Public execution onto the backline. Nuke. Wonder is the target as Shifters collapse on him, and now a 4v3 in Shifters' favor.
Shifter lật nè. Rồi, Shifter lật rồi. Phân chia thiên hạ, định hình lại giao tranh. Có cho mình cái quà ra kêu đến từ vị trí của Bà Đúc. Cái gì đây qua rao? Penta kêu cho vị trí của Bà Đúc mọi người à. Bắn là liên tục. Bắn như con mắt của Yoba. Người Hàn chơi game.
Staying out of range of Leader and Yoppa that set their sights onto them. SK went far too deep underneath that tower. They got that kill onto Rooster. They thought that they could get so much, but they end up losing everything. We look back at this fight. The focus should be on the tower, but the wall comes through. And look at Skeens. He's walking forward. He's now underneath the tower.
MC gọi đào hả? Chưa. Nhắc liền. Shit gọi đào nốt luôn. Chưa mà. Trời ơi. Vị trí của Jimmy lần này hất tung chúng rồi nha. Hạ gục được vị trí của Rakan nhưng mà Jimmy cũng để lại cái mạng. May là cái vị trí của Ba Đúc hồi nãy có người. Cái lần này Ba Đúc nó có người che chắn. Con Seiya sao mà bắn lại. Thấy mọi người thấy rõ ràng không? Bỏ cái bắn solo. Thì đương nhiên là con gọi là Yunara hiện tại, cái meta hiện tại Yunara gọi là được gọi tên hơn mọi người ạ. Seiya meta này hơi yếu nha. Mấy biết đâu gọi là Seiya thì có cho mình cái gọi là bảo tố nổi dậy thôi. Che chắn được, ví dụ như có con Vi đồ này nọ thì bích Seiya còn hợp lý. Có con Wukong, bích con Seiya nhìn cũng hơi ngu. Có Wukong người ta quéo quá thì người ta đánh mẹ con Jihin đi, ngon hơn. Ở đây thì mặt đất dậy sóng được đưa ra. Rồng 3 đang được triển khai, lao vào đến từ vị trí của Mundo bốc hơi mọi người ạ. Ba Đúc full đồ. Ba Đúc mang cái penta kill nó mạnh như trâu anh em ơi. Bây giờ cái trưởng của Mundo có mấy cái của Mundo đi rồi. Phả Thiền Đăng Thần đâu được bật rồi nha. Lần này là đánh phải cho tới. Thôi mất đi cho mình gọi là phá ngã Đăng Thần chứ không phải là phá ngã Đăng Thần mọi người ạ. Yunara người Hàn nó khác bọt. Chuẩn luôn anh ơi. Bộ pháp thần tốc được kích hoạt ra. Tốc biến và dính được cái vị trí của Nút. Nút không có đồng hồ cát mọi người ạ. Nút không có đồng hồ cát ở trong cái tình huống vừa rồi. Rooster thì sao đây? Rooster lướn lên nè. Nhưng mà cái vị trí của Mi cất. Không được mọi người ạ. Không được. Chỉ là một cái tình huống có thể nói là bắt được cái vị trí của Nút. Nút không có đồng hồ cát mà Nút đứng lộ á. Con đã cam còn 2 spell mà. Sao mà chạy được?
Shifters find a drag, they find a pick. They're threatening to go towards the base of SK. SK, in turn, find a pick of their own. And what does that mean? Baron becomes the player once again. 45 seconds until that objective spawns. Both players that died will be back alive. But we got to... Some pros seem to have this impression that when you ult on Mundo, it gives you a chunk of HP.
It does not.
It is regeneration. Yes. So if you lose 75% of your HP and then pop the ult, like, people can still just kill you. They could just do the rest of your HP. And I think that, yeah, Skins could not go where he pleased in that situation.
Này là AC full tài á. Lâu lâu xả một bữa chứ.
Give you health. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your maximum health does become bigger, but yeah, it's pretty tough.
But I mean, he didn't even pop the ult.
Yeah, he just died, man. The guy just died. He walked in, he was thinking, oh, if I can just steal the soul, maybe that's enough. As SK set up around the Baron once more.
Oh, they're just going to start this.
I mean, they do it very quickly. 5 items Zaya, Mickey gonna dash.
Tại đây thì mặt đất dậy sóng nè, ăn được Baron tiếp tục đến từ vị trí của SK Gaming nha. SK Gaming nó dàn 3 con Baron rồi mọi người ạ. Rồi thằng Ba Đúc nó bắn kìa. Thất tung được cái vị trí của Mi Cức nè, khoai tại lốc xoáy được cái vị trí của leader luôn. Còn dù nó đã bắn hết quả này mọi người ạ. Hành quyết công khai trúng tia hủy diệt có Ba Đúc bắn rồi ba cánh bên phía bên này cũng nằm luôn. Winder là người đấu, Winder cũng nằm bắn tiếp anh em, còn quét sạch có cho bên phía của Sister nha. Ba Đúc bắn hết cái đội hình bên phía của SK mình, đúng nghĩa là bắn hết luôn mọi người ạ. Đánh nó phải tự tin như vậy mọi người ơi, đánh nó phải tự tin lên. Anh em mà phải gọi là dám bắn thì anh em mới bắn được, dám bắn mới bắn được nha.
And shuts him down just like that. The death timers are long. We're 38 minutes into this game, and Shifters are looking to keep their playoff hopes alive.
It should just be done. Only Mickey up does have the quickness. He's up in 5:20 on leader though. Shifters have done what they can today to keep themselves in the playoff race.
30 kill. 38 phút. Mỗi bên 3 con rồng, 3 con Baron. 6 rồng, 38 phút. 30 kill.
Situation, but they find a much needed fight. Huge credit to Badak, really coming alive in those final team fights and putting on the character performance Shifters needed to bring it across the finish.
Má bọn lại LC này đánh. Khoai thật. Đánh như vậy là không thể nào mà tranh được cái vé World Cup được mọi người ạ. Không tranh được. Nói chung là anh em tụi em đợi game sau nhé, còn cặp BO1 sau nữa. Còn nhiều á, còn nhiều. Hôm nay còn 3-4 trận nữa.
Could be the final time for LEC versus for them. For SK, unfortunately, a loss in their final game means that they have to walk resigned backstage.
They will be back in spring, of course.
They will, yes.
But for now, they will be taking a break because for Shifters, as they move forward, as you can see on your screen, in order to qualify for playoffs, they need Na'Vi, KC, G2 to win. 2 of those 3 teams, as SK give us that last pow of the LEC versus.
Mickey Project will continue in spring. We'll see how well they can do then. But for now, they have a couple of months to reevaluate and see what they want to change going into next split. Dracos is standing by with Trimby. Let's hear from both of them.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It was a hard-fought battle in that game. Trimby, it was crazy, bro. It was all over the place. What was going through your head in some of those really wild back-and-forth fights?
Well, it was like second time I flashed in and I couldn't get a combo. I was like, fuck me, I'm just kind of ending. But I think it was really nice to realize that even though it looked hard, right, the game, because of course they have like the champs they have and then like how the team comes interaction with each other. I'm happy we realized that at the end of the day we still could play it in a certain way and we pulled it off. So I'm happy with that.
Proud of you guys for getting the win. Obviously a super tense game, but your fate really isn't in your hands, right? We broke it down earlier on the broadcast. You need some combination of Na'Vi, KC, or G2. You need 2 of those 3 teams to win, and you're in. Job done. Unfortunately, you haven't guaranteed with a win. What are your thoughts for the rest of the day? Are you just a big fan of these 3 teams now? How does it feel? I mean, it's a rough question, but how does it feel to have your fate no longer be in your hands?
I mean, if I get a little discount on the t-shirts, I can get all of them, you know? If that makes me get into playoffs, why not? No, but seriously, those are strong teams, I would say. So I'm happy with the fact those are the ones who have to win. And yeah, I hope that I can see myself being in playoffs in a couple of weeks.
I will say, based on the teams, it does seem like the odds are in your favor, but we'll just have to wait and find out. Thank you so much again, Trimby. That's going to do it for us here. Up next, MKOI versus Na'Vi with qualification stakes for both Las Carpas and the Rats. Don't go anywhere. It just keeps getting more tense.
The upper going in here. Windigo's looking for the duck. Puts down the pedestal, flash away, still gets him with the blaze.
I'm dead. Oh, no.
Rek'Sai is here on me. I'm meeting Rek'Sai. Look how this is not flash. Rek'Sai in the pit. Look at where I start. Kill Alistar. No flash.
Maybe can we no flash, no flash? Wait, TRC, can.
I pushed me.
Drake is now Doran, decent position, double
break down my walls, but I won't rise again, cause I stand tall in my environment. How could I ever close my eyes and stay silent since they try to take me down with their violence?
Oh, they go back in, Bishop flashes in, and down goes!
Wait, is he switching lanes?
Welcome back to the LEC after Shifters beating SK here. And the key player of the game was Paddock, another pentakill in the LEC. Wow, AD carries are happy this day.
Always the AD carries, man.
I mean, it's how it should be. I don't know, ADC is getting pentakill. It's been a pretty good season. I think everybody agrees, so.
Yeah, for once you guys can't complain. But anyway, focusing on the next match we have, there's a lot of stakes here. MKOI on this side, Navi on the other. Navi have qualified. These guys are still looking for their qualification. So for the stakes, it's quite simple here. MKOI winning locks them in. If they don't, and Navi wins, then the Rats and Shifters are going to be pretty happy about this one.
Yeah, a lot of eyes on this game. And if you told me that MKOI was this close to missing playoffs, because if they lose today, it's a really realistic chance that they will miss playoffs. And I saw their faces walking on the stage. They looked really serious. And you can feel the tension right now in the arena. A lot of eyes will be on this game, and they really need to show why they are seen in such high regard.
I see your disappointment, Finn, but there's a silver lining here. And that's the fact that today, it feels like 6 finals. Every single game matters so much. The tension, that just means it's more fun to watch. I'm so excited to watch this game because it means so much for both of these teams.
Not too much excitement, though, if you're on the side of MKOI, because they need to get their shift together, let's say. It's been going really wrong for them now lately, but how do you make sure that this last game is going to be the one that makes it count, especially playing against a team that has been popping off and that already qualified?
Yeah, I think it starts in the jungle, because I think Elyoya is still the captain of this ship. We saw Rilesh say in an interview, actually, that he believes Elyoya is the strongest jungler and he looks forward to playing against him. So I think, to me, that is the matchup I will be watching today.
Rilesh versus Elyoya. That is peak here in the 4th game that we have today. And actually, El Capitan is standing by with Dracos backstage. Or was.
Thank you very much. I'm joined by Elyoya in an interesting situation. You're not 100% qualified for playoffs yet. And I want to be honest, brother, it's been a rough couple of games. How have things been going from your perspective?
It's been, I think, being honest, we have struggled to perform on stage. I am always really straight with my interviews. I think when we are lacking some individual level, I'm honest to say it. I think it's not the case. I honestly think we are not showing up in performance-wise on stage. So, yeah, that's been a bit hard to deal with. But, I mean, I trust that we are going to make it.
I've heard a lot of excuses thrown around. Earlier in the split, it was Mondays. Mondays were the doom days. I heard Melzet wasn't there one day. I've heard a lot of reasons. What is the reason from your perspective that you guys just aren't able to show up? Do you have a firm grasp on, like, what is actually stopping you from delivering at your highest level?
I didn't hear those excuses, so
I heard them on the online. These are like made-up fan excuses.
It's nice to hear, you know. It's
a little
like I like how our fans have our back, but no, honestly, I think I cannot think of one case. I think every one of us has struggled in different moments. I would say yesterday game, for example, was me. Some past games has been Jojo. Some other games has been Supa. Mirwin has struggled too. I honestly think I don't know the main reason. I think we've also been trying new things at the same time because we gave a bit playoffs, let's say, too much for granted maybe. So yeah, but still, yeah, I'm confident.
So what's the focus today then? How do you rally? How do you make sure that you guys are able to deliver at that highest level? Is it just simplify the game plan? Is it stick to comfort? Like, what is the secret to making sure that you guys can just get this last win so you have a bit more time?
Honestly, it's play our game. Like at the end, I think we need to deal with this pressure. It's even a good opportunity right now to grow because not many times you have this much pressure in a normal regular season game. So we are going to take this as the biggest lesson that we can. We are going to play what we are good at, and yeah, we will win.
I like it. I like the confidence. Elyoya, thank you so much for taking the time. Good luck in the match today. We'll send it back over to you guys.
Because this match requires every bit of attention that you've got sitting at home. The last 3 regular season games of LEC Versus with Dagda and myself, Asterix, we are going to run you through MKOI versus Na'Vi, a matchup that has so many implications for the rest of the league. It is in MKOI's hands to seal the deal for them to lock in playoffs. It is in Na'Vi's hands to keep the viewership of the Rats going because they've already locked themselves into 2nd seed. Na'Vi are a top 2 team, and now they have to put up and show that they're better than MKOI.
Yeah, MKOI with the win will secure playoffs, and I mean, we just heard from Elyoya. They think that they can do it. They can turn it on when it has to happen, but it has to happen now. And as we get into the draft, you can see Oriana already taken away. So still looking to see things like the Rumble, the Azir, these kind of picks still up and available as we walk our way through this.
I feel like for Na'Vi, we can kind of dissect how their drafts have been going. Mainta, most of the time, the Scion, the Cassante, tank top with a flair of carry, but usually he's been a role player. For Relech, these top lanes in the jungle, he's had a bit of a flair of the Ambessers as well as the Aatroxes, a Kiana to start the split off. There's been certain dynamics with this team, Dagda, very straightforward. I feel like already taking it away is MKOI. They get rid of Relech's jungle pick. They get rid of Poby's pick as well. And the Inara, which is strong, have done their homework.
Imagine it'll be the Rumble gone next. Yeah, there it is.
Cool.
Okay, so Azir, the one that you think of, Jojo's also kind of defaulted towards this in a lot of situations. It means you can respond still with things like the Talia if you'd like to. And we've seen like
Mờ coi đang bít anh em ơi. Mờ coi đánh với Na'Vi. Na'Vi đang 7-3 nha. Mờ coi 5-5. Trận này đừng có nói mờ coi được đánh giá thấp hơn nha. Mờ coi đừng nói về đánh giá thấp hơn nha. 2-1 cho MC. 2-1 cho MC. Dominic súp vô lại. Một cái thẻ đỏ, một bàn thắng. 2-1 cho MC mọi người. Trận này đang mang bít rồi. Đây rồi. Không cứu kịp tài. Không cứu kịp tài. Trận MC mấy phút cuối coi cười ỉa em Long ơi. Ăn full man cute. Ăn full cái man cute. Còn trận này đang mang bích nha. Có con Vi đầu tiên rồi mọi người ơi. Trận Vitality thì hồi nãy em nói là Việt đúng không? Được, Việt bắn được. Man City 2-1 mọi người. Hôm nay êm cái bóng đá này. Còn 2 trận nữa, Còn 2 trận nữa các tình yêu ơi. Còn trận Inter thì bao nhiêu người ta? Inter có quả Inter trừ nè. Inter 4-0 rồi. Bú Inter luôn. Coi Lazio coi. Lazio 2:45 mới đá mọi người ạ. 2:45 mới đá. Nói chung là hiện tại vẫn là đang là ổn nha. Cái bóng đá của anh em mình hôm nay ổn phết đấy. Trận này thì Na'Vi có cho mình con ban với con AJ. Ở đây thì mờ coi thì có cho mình đó là cái gọi là con Vi, con Talia với lại là con Sion. Tin mờ coi được không em Long á, tin mạnh luôn anh ạ. Mà tầm này mờ coi ăn bao nhiêu mới là quan trọng. Mờ coi để coi ăn bao nhiêu. Mờ coi để coi ăn bao nhiêu à.
Just the one, but I mean, could have easily end up moving towards that. I don't think it's the end of the world, but it's going to be the tank killer in the Aatrox that he goes towards instead.
Đợi thôi á. Công có lên được đâu, đừng 12-0 là được. Trận Việt á. Đợi nó đổi sai cầu may à. Việt với lại bên phía của Furia. Tầm này Việt ngon rồi, trận này thôi, trận này để coi mờ coi ăn bao nhiêu, mới là quan trọng. Sợ mờ coi ăn thấp thôi, mờ coi ăn 1.86 à. Đánh mờ coi Money Line nhé các tình yêu ơi. Đánh mờ coi Money Line nhá. Mờ coi đánh với cái tên Na'Vi. Mờ coi Money Line. Nãy giờ hôm nay ăn nè. Hôm nay là ăn nha, hôm nay là húp nha, hôm nay là húp mạnh, húp khỏe. Mà coi mình để like mạnh nha. Á đồ bên Na'Vi có đờ bầu luôn kìa em Long á. Đấu. Hôm nay mới thay thằng SB à. Hôm nay Na'Vi thay thằng SB à. Ba rớt mà anh em vừa đùa em thằng này thằng ba rớt mọi người à, cứ nói đờ bầu em nhìn nhầm. Để mà Việt bắn kinh vậy. Người ít Donnarumma. Thằng này thằng ba rớt chứ thằng đờ bầu đâu. Treo.
Things like Siva are available for Sam D. As okay, Enchanter in the Nami. Now I truly wonder for Na'Vi, how do they round this out, Dagda? Sam D. Options are Siva, Jin for range, the Aphelios, the Varus, the Inara, the Corki, that he's all played the splitter off the table.
Yeah, it may just be the Jin to be like, okay, I'll open up a curtain call and not actually try and play in towards fights and not give a target for the Vi. But Caitlyn works pretty well as well, and
Cái đội hình này gọi là đội hình bên phía của MK cũng dễ đánh. Cookie với lại là con Nami tích hợp với nhau cũng khá là tốt. Thêm vị trí của con Vi với lại con Talia cũng là một cái bộ đôi khá là quen thuộc mọi người. Vi Talia rồi Vi Ari, nhưng mà Vi Talia thì khoảng thời gian gần đây cực kỳ là mạnh luôn, gọi là có một tỷ lệ sử dụng cao hơn. Vi Talia con Sion tăng cho vị trí Cookie bắn nữa. Nói chung đội hình đẹp. Ông địa này không phát vào rớt lên top à. Ông địa gọi là đánh con Sion này ngon anh ơi. Đánh con Sion này ngon, chó thằng ngu đánh tăng đi. Dạo này đánh đam hơi ngu.
Quicker snap as well for things like the Tangle Barbs, as well as the Blooming Burst. But we'll see the matchup in action. This 2v2 important, but MKoi throwing a spanner in the works. His first pick Vi. We're going to find out if it's worth it here for Elyoya as MKoi fight for their spot at playoffs. It is such a crazy LEC split with the fact that MKoi, Fnatic, and G2 are still not locked in. But here instead, we have KC, Na'Vi, and Vitality, along with Giant X, now locked in. What a new realm we're in. LEC ain't
vô trận. Bầu nữa mọi người ạ. Bầu nữa.
6 spots available. Here's one of them up for grabs. Maybe more.
If you're a team like Na'Vi, potentially pushing MKoi into that knockout territory could be the perfect way for you to start off playoffs. MKoi is a team that from the start of the split we were saying
này ông địa nhé Merwin nữa. Đừng để anh body summon nữa. Merwin cute mà anh em cứ trêu thôi. Merwin cute mà anh em cứ trêu. Nó thẳng cái mặt nó cười nhìn cũng cute nữa mọi người à. Nó thẳng cái mặt nó cười nhìn cũng cute nữa.
In fact, this is not just going to be a ward. Maybe he's starting at Raptors. He is indeed. No, red buff for now. Remember, MKoi win, lock playoffs. Na'Vi gets the rats to scurry into it as well.
I love this from Relech. You've got 2 pushing bot lanes and 2 enchanter bot lanes that want to really fight for that control of the wave. Now you're causing a split map position, which is just opening up for Sam D and Paris to really try and play through this bottom side of the map. And I don't think it's been spotted. There is a blue ward on the Raptor camp on that top side of the map. But unless MKoi can sniff this out, Elyoya will have to go to the opposite side of the map. He'll probably start pinging it now in a couple of seconds, realizing that Relech hasn't shown on this ward.
Nó thắng mặt nó cười nhìn cute phết đấy. Gì đây? Toàn tướng va sớm á, không biết nổi tài kill con em Long. Nãy giờ 2 trận tài kill. Sao TD nạp tối thiểu tận 1 củ của em Long á. Có nhầm không? Nó hiện như vậy thôi. Ý là nó hiện như vậy thôi anh Elizon ơi. Mình nạp 500 hay là 300 vẫn được, tùy mình thôi. Nhưng mà được thì mình nạp 1 triệu để mình lấy khuyến mãi anh. Anh nếu mà anh đăng ký bằng cái link của em nhá, anh nạp 1 triệu anh có khuyến mãi nữa. Nạp 1 triệu lấy khuyến mãi cho ok. Khuyến mãi nạp đầu.
You can see the response immediately from Elyoya to move into this top half of the map.
Yeah, let's see as well if defensive ward gets placed down. Poby has 1 in inventory. 1 on Raptors would do nicely, but the pressure of the wave pushing into this turret probably just understands that, okay.
Em Long đi gì vậy? Em Long đi cho mình cái mờ coi Money Live tình yêu ơi. Mờ coi Money Live nha, Money Live thôi. Không dám mạnh tay, không dám mạnh tay mọi người. Chỉ như vậy thôi, chỉ như vậy thôi. Như vậy nhé.
A huge chunk, and this is, we don't always see the matchup exactly like this, but Jojo now running out of mana as Poby spaces nicely from the threaded volley upgrade. He's going to get out of there, but I mean, Jojo is one of the most aggressive laners we have. And that's a very good start for MKoi.
It was also a dicey start for Poby because you are low and you know that Fi is in that top side jungle. So was hovering down towards that bottom side, which would give him a bit of time to react. But always have to be a little bit careful in that sort of situation. Already, you can see Corky gone for the reset though. The tier picked up, which is a nice win for Sam D already in this bottom lane, having forced that reset and got that place.
Quả Avaro này, quả Avaro đánh gọi là đánh con Nami này. Thật sự với mọi người, cái impact của con Nami thì cái thủy ngục nó phải trúng. Cái thủy ngục rồi thôi. No party mọi người ạ. No party.
to try and help Relech in taking away these camp again.
So as Raptor spawns, here's Elyoya. As you said, Alvaro's going to be here first. Paris not too far behind in 2v2, but it make it 3 with Jojo. He's able to snap over the wall. Relech flashes into the Talia. Jojo burns his, but now Relech has no way to get over the wall. He blocks the damage from Elyoya, but he's caught
Rồi,
against the hard
có first blood dành cho vị trí của Jojo Pian luôn nha.
Aqua Prison avoided narrowly by Paris.
Có first blood rồi nha.
What a read and what a response.
This wasn't the play from Na'Vi. You couldn't really go for it. You'd push on bot, you'd push in mid. Poby was always going to be second. And Relech, as you said, even flashing into the waiting hands of Jojo. It's not the start that Na'Vi would have liked for this game.
Jojo freaked out. He's like, what is this Pantheon doing flashing into me? Maybe want to make sure that upgraded Mortal Steel wasn't thrown in his direction. But regardless, first blood over to Jojo. Really nice, especially when he was already winning the lane, already up in CS. Now, 550 gold up as well. Jojo off to the races for this game.
It also slows down Relech on hitting that level 6 because you can see how much time he's just kind of wasting the map. Now only just starting his next rotation.
Anh ủng hộ em Long từ đời nào rồi mà còn Linh của em cái gì nữa? À, em xin lỗi. Em Long đi gì vậy á? Chẳng này em Long đi cái mờ coi money line anh ơi. Mờ coi money line. Thế thôi.
And I guess only saving grace when we talk about bot lane and their interaction with junglers is the fact that for Sam D and Paris, they have that ward and that entering brush towards Raptors. Of course, Elyoya can always take a long way around, but for now, they felt safe enough getting a bit of push in that lane, still holding pressure, because they believe Elyoya is on the top side of the map where he currently is, as he makes his reset.
Yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on, because Crab is on that top lane, but may just think, well, we know that Relech is clearing towards that bottom side, so instead, maybe going to try and make a play in bottom lane before Relech can actually get access to the wave. Yeah, looks like he just wants to cover boss, not playing for that level 6 instead.
I was going to say, the XP bar's not going to lend itself to it, is it? But Elyoya, as he shadows around mid, let's just see, is he going to get 6 off the leech of the wave? He's walking up a little bit here.
No, he will need to finish the crab if he wants to. Spot on a ward though, which now means that Relech has info. That Elyoya is going for this crab.
Ôi trời ơi, đánh gọi là cái nhịp độ trận đấu nó vẫn chậm nha mọi người.
So it's Elyoya, because he got that camp and the assist and the kill, actually using that advantage now. You can see immediately Poby just wants to kind of dip out of mid lane, doesn't want to be on the business end of that field.
True. He's already struggling enough as it is, has his flash available, but Elyoya just has to press one single button and to set up the snap engage, the first pick Vi. I think the reason will be shown once we see mid-jungle cooperation is Dragon going to be started by Relech. Elyoya is here. Level 5 versus level 6. The power of Elyoya right now is dangerous as Paris comes to help.
Yeah, he's engaged though.
Again, the shield is up. Aqua Prison as well. Relech disrespect. Elyoya's one hit away though, and will give a kill over to Sam D. A 1-for-1 as Na'Vi mid laners are fighting up top, while Alvaro, running out of mana, has to run through bot. A bit of a pause here as we find out what's going on, but that 1-for-1 keeps Dragon.
Mà coi có cả cái băng địa chấn và cái thủy ngục hơi khoai. Thật sự, cái lượng CC là 1 tỷ mọi người, cái lượng CC đúng 1 tỷ luôn.
And it makes it nigh on impossible for Na'Vi to really take these early fights. And we already said, like, MKOI knew they had the level 6 advantage, so wanted to take that fight.
Trying to find out where the issue lies. Currently, it is just a pause. We're going to find out if anything's going on.
Bầu game anh em ơi. Bầu game nha.
I'm not sure if it's MKOI's side or not, just watching who's talking to refs, but we'll wait and see. That's a mighty time to pause.
Still, I think from MKOI, they've done a good job in this game so far, right? Sure, you trade 1-for-1 there, but you are denying the stacking from Na'Vi when they've got a crazy strong bottom lane. You're using the fact that you hit the level 6. Sure, you had that level 6 advantage for Sam D in the bottom lane, but Caitlyn ult versus something like a Vild is significantly better in that sort of situation. So I think it's now a fact of, okay, how can MKOI try and keep up this pressure? Because now you're going to be in a situation where Relech is coming back out. You've got more of the level 6s available for Na'Vi. So on a repeat play towards this Dragon, I think it should be Na'Vi or in an advantageous spot.
First Dragon as well in LEC. It's been talked about for the past 4 weeks, but like this bottom side objective control has really won games. It's dictated games, and it did last year and previous years. Like Dragons
but we had you know, Atacon and all these kind of things that actually changed up.
Yeah,
how that was working, because you could see games made or like broken or made at that kind of objective. So I think, yeah, the Dragon stacking has just gone back to the key win condition for so many teams now.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're still just trying to find out what the potential bug is, as you can see in the bottom of your screen, because this is a very important game. So players not giving or leaving anything to chance. I'm sure people are already rewinding and finding out what the hell happened. But seemingly there's movement on stage, which means that, okay.
Lát luôn. Nó bầu game cả lát luôn.
But seemingly there's movement on stage, which means that, okay. The need for a psychologist after today for these players and these teams.
Lát mọi người.
There's gonna be some builds
Rồi coi có cái quăng địa chấn với cái thủy ngục. Mày cùng một
I
lúc em nói
imagine
CC
how
4
I
giây.
feel in position, let alone how they feel right now.
Well, I mean, you heard from Trimby earlier on in his interview saying, look, sometimes you just don't want to know because you don't want that pressure going into the game. You want to just take it one game at a time. And I imagine that's a similar spot that a lot of these players on the stage at the moment are in. You know, for Na'Vi, already successfully through, sitting at 7-3. But yeah, we'll have to figure out because we're going to toss it over to the AD as we figure out exactly what's going on. But let's hear from the folks' thoughts down there.
Yay.
That's us. We're down there.
We're AD.
We're AD. I want to talk about the draft, guys. We have it in front of us on stage here. Looking at, I mean, two really different approaches. I feel like Navi's draft may be harder to play given that bot has to go well, but what do you guys think?
I mean, I gotta say something. MKOI lost to Los Ratones, and now I'm seeing a Nami, Corki, and a Scion.
Is that a run back? Is that a salty run back?
It's a salty pickup for sure. I mean, honestly, when I look at the Nava draft, it's very high execution. Because look at your front line. You have an Aatrox that's most likely not going to be with the team most of the time. You have a Pantheon who is rather squishy but can be invulnerable for 2.5 seconds with his E. And you have a Nico support. And there's a Caitlyn and a Seer that needs
Lát anh em ơi, có lát một tí xíu. Cái vấn đề có tí xíu gọi là trục trặc nha.
Is it going to be the Nico? Is it going to be the Pantheon? It's really difficult to execute this fight in these river congregations that we see, where you just have a front to back team fight.
Yeah, I mean, they have a really hard to execute comp, but what they do have is 3 winning lanes, right? You have the Caitlyn Nico that's going to win bot lane, Azir is going to get pushed into the Thalia, and then also Aatrox into the Scion as well. I think if they can execute this early game and keep snowballing, allow Relech to just move around the map, that's the type of win con that you're looking with this sort of roster.
I mean, we saw Relech just now. He is locked in, eyes closed, faker mode, meditating on stage. For me, that's the attitude of a player who knows exactly what he's going to do and who knows exactly how to execute this draft. We have the replays of the first blood and how the action broke out in the game. If we can check that, because it seemed like MKOI are the ones who initiated what happened. No, actually, it comes from an engagement. Relech.
So yeah, here Relech wants to go for these Raptors, right? But MKOI do not want to concede these, and it looks like they're making a pretty good pick onto Relech, and here he gets really stuck here, trying to block a lot of damage with his E, which he kind of does, but in the end, there's just not enough damage on the MKOI. The Azir was a little bit too far away from this invade. If you want to go for this invade, you probably need the Azir to be a little bit closer so you can actually fight when they come to contest it.
And you can see they have the right idea, right? That I talked about earlier. The winning lanes, they want to try to utilize that to give a lead to Relech, but it's just the execution ends up falling a little bit apart. And as Finn said, I think this is a team comp where if you start to fall behind like this, especially then if Elyoya is able to utilize this to get his laners ahead, suddenly MKOI have a really big draft advantage.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say, like, in a perfect world, what does Navi's comp want to do? You have a Pantheon that has a lot of global threats with his ultimate. It should, in theory, allow your Seer and your Aatrox, who is winning their lanes, to push outside deep, knowing that if they get collapsed on, there's a Pantheon ult to back them up, and then you can transition that to your strong Caitlyn lane and set up the objectives. Problem is, if this Pantheon makes one bad ult, that all changes, because suddenly you lack this threat, you lack this backup from this Pantheon. This is really why Rilesh must be precise in this game. That first ult is crucial.
How detrimental to the early game is that invade going to be, do you think?
I think pretty big, especially because when you're playing up against the Vi, what you really want to do is abuse her before level 6, or at least try to get some sort of lead, because after level 6, Vi just has so much more pressure on all of Navi's lanes and just much better fighting power. So now the fact that they weren't able to get that invade off, Rilesh falls behind a little bit as well, and he's also just been such a key pillar for this team. He's been the one player that's always been performing, that we've always been looking out for. So if Rilesh ends up falling behind and not being able to be this carry for the team, I think it's going to be a completely different Na'Vi than we're used to.
You can see here that players are conducting ready checks, but I just want to update on the pause that MKOI initiated at 6:58. They reported a bug to referees where Talia potentially was knocked off her ultimate, and after review, referees determined that this interaction was intended. So I'm guessing the game is going to resume as planned. And the casters are ready? Okay. Well, back to you guys, and back to the game soon.
Okay, yeah, because we went back and looked at it, and it was Talia wall through the wall, and then as soon as Jojo touched that wall, he fell off.
But we don't know what happened, right?
Yeah,
could have clicked off, could have been anything.
Speculation here.
Yeah, there's no point in speculating.
But,
Like, basically, the game will play from the current position, which means that Elyoya is dead, Rilesh is dead, and we're back into just seeing what's going to happen around this dragon.
And as you said as well, from this point, Na'Vi in a good position, maybe to pick up the Drake. Obviously, both junglers are dead, but as soon as Rilesh maybe gets that ultimate, he's stuck at 7 seconds. Now, that's not the case. Junglers will be alive pretty soon, and in fact now. But it's all the fight over the dragon. Na'Vi's kill went over to Sam D, and Sam D with a kill is exactly where they want the gold right now. In response, looks like Alvaro picked up the kill, as Jojo got the first blood earlier on, so there we go. Okay, Dragon's still the thought process, but for now, junglers are just clearing up top side. They're going to go for the respawn, and we'll see that fight again shortly.
Yeah, as you say, everything on the top side's respawning, so jungler's going to try and clear down towards that bottom side, but we're just going to get a replay of the fight. So you can see Jojo's not able to go through, but it's Elyoya who has already gone forward, so it's a trade of junglers, thanks to Sam D being able to get some nice damage in towards the back, and then flash force from Alvaro. So it does mean with the level 6 now hit, there is a potential to try and make some plays down towards that bottom side with Rilesh. So you can see the Vi is already moving down there as you get a little bit of support attention towards the mid lane.
Yeah, Paris is getting the push out as well, so maybe Poby can move over to this start. Maybe it'll be Grub's trade, in fact, for Na'Vi, but we'll just see for the time being. Red buff is being taken for the moment, rather, as Rilesh now has level 6, so he's a bit more global, a bit more movement here, as bot lane in a very good wave state right now for Sam D.
Yeah, just trying to keep my eyes on both these junglers, because ideally you do have Dragon taken with Grubs are up, but now you kind of open up where there is a potential for you to try and trade both of those objectives. But you should have push continue on this bottom side, and it looks like with the early move from Paris in towards the mid lane, Poby was able to get pushed there. So I mean, Na'Vi were able to get this objective. And you're seeing a quick reset from Elyoya, means he's more than likely going to start moving up towards these Void Grubs to try and trade for it. But I'm curious if it opens up some sort of play on the bottom side for Na'Vi.
Maybe, but Dragon's on regardless. Rilesh is going to hover, he'll get scuttled.
Nhưng mà quay lại nào mọi người ơi.
But an early objective for Na'Vi that looks pretty good here as the wave is just going to push into Na'Vi's bot lane. And they'll receive it as super. Yeah, he's just going to back off, probably reset and build more towards his Triforce.
So it's just going to be that trade. Does mean that Maynard has to be a little bit careful on the top side, but in the isolated 1v1, he's been doing a decent job. Has a good amount of CS there, and this is kind of what you're hoping for when you have the Aatrox. Because ideally, I think what they're hoping for with Maynard was you'd end up with an engaged support as well, and then you can try and play with the Aatrox into these, 2-3 melee champions. But I think with both Mirren and Elyoya there, you should still have decent healing and a decent opportunity as Mainter to have impact in these fights.
He's doing fine in the individual 1v1. 300 gold lead at the very least, as Mirwin's about 10 CS behind, but it's lending itself to the matchup right now. As Jojo looking for Poby, LUA is nearby once again after taking away those Raptors, or rather, Void Grubs. And everything's going to chill out for a little bit as well. Like after that last
Quả bên phía của MCOI mà thua được Na'Vi này em nghĩ cũng khoai. MCOI khả năng cao là vẫn là thắng rồi. MCOI nó hơn Trình.
When there was so much momentum on the map and there was a lot of fast play having reached level 6. It's not just the fact that, you know, Jojo's ulti was down for a little bit, it's also the fact that these teams are kind of resetting after waiting 10 minutes to get back in to what the start of this game was.
Still, I think you kind of heard Finn on the desk talk about this as well. For Na'Vi, it's about trying to play through strong lanes. And when you've already kind of isolated these lanes to a certain extent, and you have winning in both top and AD carry, it makes things significantly easier for you as this game goes on. Because you want to start trying to play with this this Pantheon to try and make plays on side lanes. So from this position, I think Na'Vi should be relatively fine. The only kind of problem they're having is this mid lane, where Jojo has done a really good job, point to case, of getting some damage onto Poby.
And Relech is looking for an angle through this mid lane as well, but how he hovers in is going to be difficult as wards are spotting him out. One controller there that he can't even risk going near. Poby stepped up to this. Threaded volley's hitting him. Seismic shot flushed away from. Jojo's lane continues to be impressive, both as a player and in the matchup.
And he's also setting up for... Oh no, actually he's just going to clear this out. I was about to say a bit of a freeze, which makes him very safe. And would force Poby to overextend, which could make some sort of play open up here for Elyoya if he wants to.
It opens up the jungle for Elyoya at the very least. Further to that, the Grom spawn is there. Maybe an angle on bot lane.
Well, Pantheon's already here.
Genius, you're right, but with the Pantheon ult, or rather Pantheon standing there on a ward, I guess Elyoya is just hovering in case something happens of it. I can say maybe ult is the term, but Elyoya is clear of vision. There's a control ward holding the Tri-Brush for now. Scuttlecrab are going to be taken as well. Niche little movements there from MCOI, but nice ones.
Yeah, still, I think this is more about trying to protect this push from MCOI. So
Tập này vẫn là lai rai đến từ hai bên nha. Đánh chậm mọi người à, vẫn là đánh chậm thôi. Tập này ai đâu dám vội, không ai dám vội cả.
Now push this in because he didn't reset, so Jojo will want to get a reset as well, and it should set them up relatively nicely for, you know, a minute and a half time when that dragon comes up. Super still a little ways off, I'd imagine, from the Triforce, but might just be able to get it if he picks up place here on the bottom side, which I think he's sticking around for.
Get it right. Quick back here from Alvaro in the meantime. Not going to walk up. Maybe a little bit too risky again. That Pantheon changes the whole aspect of the game. Relech still hasn't popped an ulti, but he does have Sundered Sky. Good damage coming from Mainter as we look back towards top. He's got Sundered Sky as well. So this first item's coming on board clearly for Na'Vi, as well as on the other side, that Triforce you're talking about, finish for the bot lane of MCOI. Sundered Sky there for jungle. And we're just seeing the role quests go along with it as well. MCOI are the first to do all 5. Na'Vi ain't too far behind. I think Poby has been bullied a little bit in the lane and spent some time out of it. So 10, 20, 30 seconds more and Poby should be finished as well. We should be all done.
You can see though the bot lane push is evening up now with Super picking up that Triforce. So it makes things a little bit more difficult for Na'Vi to actually get pressure on this bottom side. So for MCOI, I think that's where you're happy, because you've got no flash on this Azir. It gives you an open opportunity to try and take a pop shot at him before this dragon spawns, or even if the fight comes down to it.
20 seconds till break. Minute 20 till Herald. Oh, he's going to get a quick reset in. And there was actually a quick one from Relech as well right before the objective. Thought about a pickaxe, but went for the Tarbis instead. So worried about the 80 damage that's going to come through. Not about the chain CC that can follow, but I guess Merc treads against an army's like, or you get flicked back as like, oh well. Bro, I'm probably dead at that point anyway. The layering of CC from MCOI on one target is kind of disgusting. Like, if you get locked down, the pick is so easy for this team.
Yeah, and I think that's where it is going to be very dangerous. Because at least on MCOI, you've got that true tank on the top side.
Yep.
So you can kind of face check, but don't really have that luxury for Na'Vi. At least Relech does have that Aegis Assault to dissuade a lot of that damage. Still though, this is what we're talking about. Push in mid and good control on Bob Paris.
Close. Heal comes out. Tangle Barbs do connect. That probably saved his life. Relech just had to stand there and watch A summoner down is still a summoner down, and that's a nice move from MKOI.
But I think that might have actually just gotten MKOI the dragon, because...
SMD.
Oh, Sandy as well.
Foster's bomb flashed away from. The big one was there too. That was a kill. And another big step up, another bad step up from Na'Vi, and MKOI are going to punish.
Yeah, nicely done by MKOI, using the fact she got the slow and auto on the Nami, the Triforce procs. This is a very nice item spike, or at least a combo spike, for this MKOI bottom lane, and they're using it really effectively.
Chậm rãi.
General mandate.
Đậu em còn ngồi đây nè.
Still so much stronger. Easy to proc, easy to take
Mời
those
uống
summoners,
xin
and
tối lúa
easy to
mạch
take
vô
the
mọi người.
dragon at the end as well. Chemtech rolls into a Hextech, and now we think about the Herald. Na'Vi going to reset, look towards top lane. Poby using the home guards through the lane to get that quick reinforcement. Maybe just to accept the wave and then move down for the potential. But MKOI here to chase. We're going to have to fight around Herald.
Nainter does have TP, should be able to catch this wave and potentially teleport in. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow move.
2-1 thôi, vẫn còn lại ra. Anh em có bình luận đâu. Nói đánh chỗ này không ổn, anh em cũng có bình luận nói chuyện với em không? Em hỏi mọi người cái thể trận như vậy. Đánh cực kỳ chán.
They're going to start it off first of all. I exposed good damage and already we're off.
Bỏ tay, bỏ tay.
Slow here from Na'Vi. And Poby's just holding back at turret. Their option maybe not to contest. Relet's going to peek his head in, but again, slow is the word I'd use, Dagda, because his health's pretty much gone.
Yeah, I mean, they were looking at that bottom side, but Jojo moves down to cover the wave as it hits that bottom lane tower, and they already moved Mirren into position. So honestly, nice moves here from MKOI on the map stays. Like, yeah, you lose the plate, but you get the Herald, you get the wave boss, and you get it onto a carry rather than Mirren. So all said and done, MKOI really happy off the back of that.
Main's going to steal the Krugs in the meanwhile in our picture cam, or rather in our map. But Na'Vi are still trying to find a pick off the back end of the play. He said it, SMD got a plate. I'm not sure if Mainta got one down in the bot lane. But regardless, the Fed Aatrox is just going to stay in his lane, stay there isolated. He did take the Krugs in the end. I saw him on the camp for quite a bit. So it's a nice gold injection.
Là EC toàn ru ngủ á. Có đờ bầu đánh mới hay. Là EC đánh dạo này như vậy thôi. Có nhiều ai có thằng đờ bầu đánh nó hay. Nhưng mà chịu luôn mọi người. Cái lối đánh chung của giải là như vậy. Chúng ta phải chấp nhận nó là như vậy.
But because it committed resources to the top side and Paris went for a very late reset, they're not actually in a position to go for anything on the map. So for MKOI, the fact that you're not getting value from this from this Pantheon is a win in and of itself. And sure, you've still got like Caitlyn and Azir who will scale well, but it's giving you these moments where the game hasn't blown out of proportion and you're about to hit these two autumn spikes on a bunch.
Nó nằm ở cái gọi là cái lối đánh chung nữa mọi người ạ.
They can play side lane as Mainta goes into the fire instead. Oyo hovering there, the clone going to spot him out, and Jojo almost found a pick off. Mainta still takes a lot of damage, but regardless, MKOI don't get their wish of finding that dead Aatrox.
And Supa now still clearing well against Sam D, so not even winning out on the mid push anymore. Now MKOI all moving down towards this bottom side, trying to just guarantee themselves a tower. And they're even investing more gold into Jojo. Like, he is the strongest portion of MKOI. Hey. And they're kind of realizing, hang on, as long as Jojo can win out on the side lane, then you have to put these resources as Na'Vi into trying to push him back. And Na'Vi right now just don't really have those resources. Like, sure, you have the Pantheon, but it hasn't really worked out.
Mainta, okay.
There
Wings out, okay. Wings of Fury, interrupts Jojo. That one ate a bug. That's for real as Rilech knocks down the kill.
And that's what you wanted to see. Na'Vi immediately getting that ultimate off. And good job by Mainter as well, just flipping Jojo before he can escape.
Meanwhile, Poby in a bit of trouble in the top lane. He's got Flash available, it doesn't pop, but he knows he's dead. Decimating smash into the hand. Elyoya slapped him silly.
And that's a good cross map from Elyoya, but now Na'Vi trying to collapse.
Ball breaker over the wall, Rilech is there waiting, stun out as well. Paris gets the flash out of Elyoya. The enemy jungler running away from Na'Vi, the tidal wave. Good defensive maneuvers, Volt breaker back in with an Acro Prism, but hang on a minute. Hang on a minute! Pop Blossom from hell! Paris sets it up. Elyoya has to stand his ground, but where's the damage? Super just got to kill Paris. Mainta now in without an ulti.
4-2 mọi người ạ, 4-2. Kiểu đợi đủ độ mới đánh. Trình kém nhưng thích mặt rô, gà đến độ solo kill là một điều gì đó xa xỉ ở tại chờ combat thôi. Khó nói, khó nói.
So uncoordinated from Na'Vi of what looked like an overstay from MKOI.
MKOI just realizing, hang on, your damage dealers aren't here. It's a Pantheon and a Nico, and we've got Supa on mid wave. We can immediately collapse on this, and they get the kill, and
Tại vì gọi là trình nó tới đó rồi. Thì bây giờ nó đánh tới đó rồi chứ bây giờ kêu nó đánh hơn nữa, nó đánh cũng chả được. Khó nói.
And this is just a good show of it. Understand they need to cross map because the Pantheon just showed up fast. Immediately get the kill onto Poby. And then here as well, the Caitlyn is stuck on midway because you've just pushed in with Supa and Alvaro. So Supa and Alvaro get to move across first. Caitlyn has to take the long way around. And this is just 2v3. Like, Sam D can't really do anything in these fights.
They're really not pop blossom.
Giải bây giờ đánh toàn như vậy mọi người.
So much work here. Supa just gets to step up and we just saw Mainter in the bot lane. They got the kill, but he used his wings of death for it. Mewin great zone control after the fact as well. Mainter has to flash over the wall, or rather get out over the wall. Alvaro gets ganked by the Aatrox again, but he can't do much.
Alvaro shouldn't have gotten away with that, to be honest.
No.
He face-checked into the Aatrox, and Mainter doesn't hit Q1, doesn't set up then for the rest of us, and Alvaro is able to walk away. Very lucky on that play. Mewin now taking that top side, still has that TP advantage over Mainter if MKOI want to try and push in. But yeah, MKOI, they are coming alive in this game.
They are, and they're playing on the edge. I mean, talk about like a style of MKOI. I feel like when they're at their best, they play on an edge like this, right? That looked like a risky play. That looked like something they shouldn't have gotten away with. But they do, because at their peak, MKOI are 5 players that play on the edge of risk. MKOI also going to get themselves a dragon here. The stacking has begun. The gold lead has started to grow. Jojo in the lead from start of this game to now where he is. 21 minutes in, mid-turret falls. And MKOI are starting to break apart the pieces of Na'Vi's dream.
You're waiting on his Q to come back off cooldown. Sam D trying to play very far away from what is unknown territory in his own jungle. But it just, again, Supa getting to clear out the wave. There was a big gold lead for Sam D in that bottom side that is completely disintegrated. And Mainter barely holding on to what was a 1.2k gold lead, now down to a measly 500.
Yeah.
MKOI have evened up the lanes. They're not allowing Na'Vi to play through this 1-3-1. You don't have enough firepower in Sam D to control mid.
Trận này đánh gu ngủ quá anh em ơi. Bobby đánh ở LCKCL còn ngáp qua đây, còn qua đây tỏa sáng là hiểu rồi. Thế mới nói cái giải này gọi là cái chất lượng nó đi xuống nhiều. Giải này chất lượng đi xuống nhiều. Nhưng mà gọi là đất ở đâu thì lúa mọc ở đó thôi. Anh em mình cứ thế mà coi thôi. Không có gì cả anh em ơi.
Because the time for playing through these strong lanes has ended.
But I think you have to start looking at a pick before this next dragon.
Yeah.
Like, if you can make some sort of play onto MKOI or they overextend somewhere, that's where Na'Vi can try and bring this back. But from this position, it is very tough. Supa is playing safe in and around this mid lane. They have a ton of vision to make sure that he's fine. Like, you can see it at the moment, just how much vision is invested around this mid lane. Like, they just, anywhere that you want to move is going to be fine for Supa. And it means that it's just difficult then for LEC to kind of get an angle here.
Bobby đánh ở LCK gọi LCKCL cũng vậy thôi. Bố này gọi là như một mọi người, như một. Nói chung là mấy thằng gà nó mặc rô thì nó cũng gà, nó mặc rô cũng gà mọi người à.
Na'Vi move into the brush. They've seen the fog of war play today, but Supa was also watching, expecting Na'Vi to be in the bush, and there they stand. Paris in RELEC.
Gà có khi mặc rô đánh càng gà hơn nữa. Anh em đánh đột biến có khi còn hên xui.
Oh my god, Alvaro! What a read! The big one maxes range as well, and this Nami is clean. This fish has been swimming for years as Poby gets out of there, but not for long. Here's the pick'em composition.
Vừa mới nói lại lộ già tiếp tục có cho mình cái mạng của Bobby nè. Bên phía của mà coi đánh đơn giản mà mọi người. Trận này mà coi win được sao lại là Na'Vi với là mà coi tiểu vậy cờ. Hôm bữa trêu rồi, hôm bữa trêu rồi.
It's a great position for MKOI.
And it felt like it was a starting, secret recipe that was working well yesterday, even though G2 didn't get the win. Operation Kill Poby is continuing to be a success and at least lead to a gold lead.
And it may lead to MKOI being in playoffs. This is where MKOI needed to step up, and this is significantly cleaner than we've seen.
Seismic shot back, he's got the shield up, but the whole team is here. Steps forward, knows he can't go anywhere, and Oyoya will survive. Outer turret goes down rather in MKOI just moved up to 4.5 and more. this game is quickly walking away from Na'Vi.
But this is the stuff that we saw MKOI improving on last summer. Their sideline plays, playing around JoJo and things like the Talia. This is kind of where we knew MKOI were at their most dangerous. And MKOI, we talked about in draft, they were feeding into this, we want to play back on this Azir pick, actually taking the Vi first, gifting over the Azir so they could have Vi and Talia as an answer into it. And JoJo stomped Poby, to be perfectly honest, in lane. Like,
absolutely.
It wasn't even close. And now, Na'Vi feeling the brunt of that as they're just bleeding gold across the map.
Mid-jungle diff this game for sure, right? Like, top in isolation has gone the matchup's way. Bot was not too bad, but Relech even vertical jungle. That's why Sam D and Paris got the extra push that they did, or more the comfortability. Mid-jungle has been gapping Na'Vi this game. This is showing you why you can never count out MKOI. This is showing you why there are going to be some pretty sweaty rodents right now in the chat as Relech half HP already, stunned up. Acro present tidal wave as well. And a Scion ult from downtown Mirwin flew in and shut the door. Now Na'Vi back up against the wall as Poby.
Sợ không tới 10 phút nữa gần như là end game mà. Khúc này là gần như là muốn end, xấu cả mấy tiền.
That was so well orchestrated by MKOI. Mirwin coming in, the truck slams into Na'Vi. And it's just putting a break on all this Na'Vi hype. MKOI, like, this is a stomp.
This is a stomp now for sure. Baron is going to be taken. Relech has his ulti, but he's 15 seconds in the dirt. And for MKOI, they're putting the finishing touches on this game. I mean, this has gone from close early game, a couple of moments, to an absolute wash. As Alvaro right now, stating case for MVP.
Yeah, Alvaro's had a fantastic game. But it's also just playing so well around, knowing that Na'Vi have no vision. MKOI have been very clinical in where they've been placing their vision, how they've moved it forward, how they've cleared out that vision from Na'Vi's side, which is just allowing them to make picks, you know, with Elyoyo, now with Alvaro as well, even Mirwin there to help. And there was no cross-match from Na'Vi. Baron was going down, but they left the Dragon up. So now you kind of get that opportunity to take it here as MKOI, but Paris hoping that he can find some flank here.
This is going to have to be Poby levels of flank, ironically enough, from Paris in that bottom side brush. The patience from Paris must go beyond into this Dragon play. But for Na'Vi, they've got Mirwin who has TP. The Dragon's already gone. There's no contest. And Paris going to play the ultra long con.
9-2 mọi người à. Em nói là MKOI win được. MKOI đánh trận này là thuần win mà. Hơn trình mọi người.
As the rest of MKOI, they just pushed in mid. Now they're grouping on this bot wave, and now there's so many points of pressure on the map for Na'Vi. They just look lost.
Observers, can we go to the Sven cam, please, in bot brush? MKOI
chốc đi top 25 phút. KDI 0-1. Có chán không chứ?
Is this the moment? Can he do?
Mây tờ. Đánh với ông địa thì chịu rồi. Ông địa đi lên cứng mà.
The angle is here. He finds a new brush.
They know something's up.
They're like, where is Paris? Jumping back in, the Weaver's wall is out. They're a little bit fishy, you're right. Paris now caught out, and he's like, what do I do? Seismic shove avoided, but down he goes. The Na'Vi support, it doesn't even have Na'Vi nearby.
But can they make a play onto Mirwin instead? You got the ult from Relech, but Na'Vi seems scared.
They got to do something because they are just passively losing 10k in the dirt. Baron's now going to open up bot turret. Na'Vi had to make a play, and I fear it's way too late. It's flush away from Relech. It just opens up inhibitor. Guess what? Mid is now open as well. Main's just like, okay, it's my turn, but he's isolated. One by one, they decide to go in. And now stepping up to the plate is super into Sam D. The flash engage, the flick back. Poby can't move. Na'Vi are playing Spectator League of Legends. There's the pop blossom we were promised. But Paris
Đúng là gọi là dễ dàng cho bên phía của MKOI mọi người ạ. Dễ dàng cho bên phía của MKOI. Không tránh khỏi.
But MKOI are fearless. Absolute domination over Na'Vi to be studied. Looking once again like an insane team as they lock in playoffs in easy fashion.
It didn't feel like they had any hope. MKOI from start to finish, they played well around the split map. JoJo looked fantastic in mid, and this constant push and pull around the map looking for picks was just too much for Na'Vi to handle.
You can vote for your player of the game, Elyoyo, Super or Alvaro. Na'Vi already locked into top 2, but that was not a top 2 performance because realistically, MKoi smacked them down from their position and gave them a reality check. This is the MKoi we saw last year in spring, towards the end of the year as well, Dagda. This is a good MKoi. And shout out to Jojo, he's not on the player of the game, but Jojo's lane was insane. Like, he really showed us why this Talia matchup is so good into the Azir, and I don't think we always get that response out of the 1v1.
No, but I think, as we said, like, it was drafted for. They knew taking by into Talia, they were happy to make that trade into the Azir and just make the life uncomfortable there. But honestly, like, I think Elyoya had a fantastic game here. Like, he controlled LEC, dictated how that early game went, even with the split map that happened. So, yeah, honestly, and as you said, like, Alvaro, Supa, the fact that they could do well in the 2v2 was fantastic.
Well, we're going to send it over to Mr. Canada with Mr. America. I don't know where Dracos is actually from, but he can tell us.
He's American. As
they lock in playoffs. He's in America somewhere. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Jake. Yeah, it's America, Mr. Canada up here. Jojo, congrats. I'm not going to lie, man. It was looking pretty scary for you guys. I was talking to Yo-Yo. He had a lot of faith, but we were talking about it before they tossed us. If you had lost here, you needed Team Heretics to beat Casey. You needed Fnatic to beat G2 to have a hope of going to playoffs.
Yeah, we weren't going to make it. Yeah.
Bro, in a split where your org is hosting the final games. We might not have gotten to see you in Spain, but you did make it. Thank God. Shout out Paparito there. We all came together in the end. The planning came together. How do you feel in this moment? Did you feel that pressure playing on stage? Were you feeling like this was a do or die match?
I mean, honestly, not really. It's kind of weird, but I was kind of excited because I feel like this type of the year, it's not too fun, I would say, of course, because there's no playoffs and anything. So there was really something on the line. So I had a lot of fun playing today. I'd say it was the most fun game I played the whole season. So I just took it as an enjoyment, and I think we played really good. So I'm happy.
Do you feel like it helped everyone wake up on the team playing under that kind of pressure? Because you guys have been on a bit of a slump, I think it's safe to say. Was it good for you guys to be kind of under the gun today to make sure that you could show up the way you needed to?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we lost, I would have been really sad because I think we're progressing very, very well this week, actually. So I think we're playing really, really good league. So if we didn't show what we're capable of in playoffs because we ran it down in the earlier weeks, it would have been, well, specifically me, I would say, but it would have been really sad. So, I mean, I'm glad we made it to playoffs, and we're just going to keep looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see that journey. Talking to Elyoya earlier, he talked about it felt like people just weren't quite able to show up on stage the way that they were. I don't know if it was in scrims, people weren't delivering at the highest level. What's your perspective on that issue? What do you think was kind of holding the team back over these last few games, and what was the difference today?
I mean, I think we all took this winter split with the same plan. It's the same goal. We're just going to try to experiment a bit and see what works for us, what doesn't. I also think we use that experimentation excuse too much to just play bad. So I think it was kind of a wake-up call, like, okay, we're actually not good at some things. We can't keep using this excuse that we're experimenting. Of course, we got a lot of good things from it, but now's the time to show up. Yesterday was the time to show up too, and we didn't show up. So, I mean, I'm glad we showed up today, right? So I think we just tried a lot of new things, which is why it's been a slower start, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, glad you got it in the end, brother. Now you have a little bit more time before we get into playoffs. Thanks again for taking the time to talk to me, and congrats on making playoffs. That's going to do it for us here. Let's send it over to Analyst S to talk a little bit more about everything that we saw here.
What we saw, as Jojo Pune beautifully mentioned it, is that it matters when you show up on time. And they did. It's like they don't do anything for 2 weeks, but when it matters, they actually prove that we were wrong.
I think they're a very clutch team. I was really happy to see them just lock in today, secure playoffs for themselves, and kind of show that top-tier dominance, especially going up against Na'Vi, who we thought would be really tough competition for them.
I was never worried, Jack Spencer. I never doubted a moment that MKoi would make playoffs. I was sure all the time. I was not sweating bullets backstage.
A lot of reversible jackets here on this desk, but MKoi joins the rest of the team that are now qualified for playoffs. But I want to take a bit of a moment to talk about the stakes for the next game. We're going to have Team Heretics versus Casey. Sorry, it's getting a bit confusing. Yeah. So what is going to happen here? If you're a Los Ratones fans, you want a Casey win and a Fnatic win in the next game. That's simple.
I mean, it's cinema right now. Every game kind of matters right now, and coming into this game, Heretics versus Casey, a lot of people with different team affiliations want different results. And I feel like if you're Heretics coming into this game, you're kind of David versus Goliath. You can come here and knock G2, Fnatic, LR, possibly out of playoffs. That's insane. Imagine the upset that would be.
You know, it was so wild because before we went live, I was overhearing just above us, there's the G2 Tribune on this side, the Fnatic Tribune on the other side, and I was overhearing G2 fan and Fnatic fans just arguing about stakes and how their teams can make it. I didn't see any Team Heretics fan, but they have to win next game. They have to win next game to stay in the race. If Team Heretics wins the next one, they both lock themselves and Fnatic in playoffs. If KC wins, they lock G2 and Los Ratoms. That's wild.
That's crazy stakes on one game. Absolutely phenomenal season ending. I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I mean, having such a game as well, like later G2 versus Fnatic, I mean, to have such stakes, it just makes sense that it's a medium rare kind of sequence.
I mean, quickly, what do we think from both teams? Because KC are in this position where they locked first yesterday against GX, going up against Team Heretics, who were on the rise, but is that going to be enough against the most consistent team we had so far in the winter?
I mean, all common sense dictates that KC should win today.
Yeah,
they're the first place team. They've looked really dominant. But
this is Europe, baby! This is Europe. Anything can happen. Heretics can walk on stage right now and upset the world. Come on, Jack Spectre, do you believe?
I mean, Team Heretics, they might be TH or they might be T1 today. Who knows, really? It's LEC after
I
all.
believe anything can happen. We will see that right after the break. KC Team Heretics for one of the highest stakes games we have still left in regular season. Stay tuned.
No ult, Pantheon.
I'm moving.
I have TP in 8, guys. He has nothing this Pantheon.
Ulti, okay?
Yeah.
I'm flashing the wall.
Aatrox, no ult. I'm gonna TP in 3. It's a good fight. I like it.
Look, Pantheon. We are slowing him. I can Q. I will ulti now. We don't reach there, okay, guys? Don't I'm ulti.
I'm ulting too. I like Azir slowly. Look.
Yeah, we'll go. I tank. Go forward.
Has flash and ult.
No flash.
Let's go Nash.
Damn it. Hey, Dragos, you ready for the... Oh, that doesn't look good. Wait, I have a solution, but you have a break. I will be right back. Just wait.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
See? I told you we'd figure it out.
I don't think this counts.
Come on, let's go.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Hey there. Every season starts the same way. Everyone wants to win. But not everyone prepares the same way. I can't wait to show you what I have in store. And trust me, this year, everyone's leveling up.
right, another playoff stake for you coming up. This one's huge for your second last game of the regular season at LEC versus Asterix Dagda, and we're going to run you through Team Heretics and KC. Now listen, if Team Heretics win this, not only do they lock themselves in, they lock in Fnatic, and Shifters will be Betty bye-bye. But KC win, they lock in G2 and LR, and then Team Heretics are out. So Team Heretics literally lock themselves in or don't. They're do or die. This matchup is all about them.
It is incredibly important here how this one pans out. And coming into this week, I would have been like, you know what, Heretics, it's not really going to look good for you. But they have had some great performances. I mean, they're able to take down MKOI last week. They beat Fnatic this week. Like, they've kind of gone through some of the top contenders. Now, you can kind of say, look, it was MKOI on an off day. Maybe it wasn't Fnatic's best day, but still, Heretics. This would be such an insane statement if they can take down KC, the team that is at the top of the standings right now.
The team that lost the Shifters at the start of the split.
Game mới đi. Game trước là húp nữa nha. Nãy giờ ăn nhiều chứ. Nãy giờ toàn ăn chứ. Có thua đâu.
There were so many moments where like Heretics should have closed out the game, but they did not. They could not. The redemption arc begins as we move into pick and ban. And it does mean we're going to get a red side first pick here for KC. Dagda, I have seen so many picks for Busio work out well. I would be surprised if Heretics leave up some of those priority supports for KC, I'm just saying.
Well, my eyes were actually going towards Varus, which is now left open, which may have to be banned by Heretics. But I love the read here from KC. They saw the Jarvan ban and know that Heretics are trying to set up for an Azir-Orianna trade, where the Azir goes across to KC and they can respond with the Orianna. But now you can see, okay, well, actually with the Orianna ban, we're going to leave Varus open. KC now have to decide what they want to try and take here. Is it the Varus, is it the Azir, or the Rumble hover that was there? But now Heretics have set themselves up for two prime picks that could be, it looks like, the Azir and the Rumble.
Because, I mean, are those prime picks worth it?
Cứ đợi nó bích xong đi.
Because Varus, to me, is the strongest out of any of the picks, just purely because of what we've seen in the LEC, but more so because it's Kalist on Varus as well. He's had some clean games last year. He's already had a clean game this year. Let's see what he can do on the pickers. You said Rumble. Jhin to match the range is the next question from Heretics.
I thought they'd take the Azir, because then you're kind of forced KC anyway to match top and mid.
Because now you get Azir.
And now they can take Azir, right? And they can then take their jungler. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised.
I forgot about this. Yike on this was a nightmare. And if you're playing a range,
và rớt với lại vị trí của dây được bích cho bên phía của KC.
This must have been what Heretics were thinking. It was like, look, if we go Azir, we've left ourselves actually kind of up a creek without a paddle. So instead, we're going to take the Jhin, does well into range. And now if they go for this poke style composition, we can respond with something different for Saren, something like a Zoe that we've seen from Humanoid, something along these lines.
I wonder if that's going to be worth it though, because then you also leave up Busio has Leona in the pick for long range engage.
I was honestly Bard.
KC, Bard, you're right. This would be a surprise to me, but okay, Nico's going to be the engage tool. They're going to go in a different position, but also a very good zone keeper. I think Nico is as a champion right now as Nautilus.
Gì đây? Rumble với lại vị trí của Jhin nè. Giao tranh thì khá là xa mọi người à. Tình hình giao tranh thì xa.
Shayo still without a jungler. He needs an answer into Yike's chase.
The Malphite is kind of the answer and also does work well with just finding engage tools, right? And Malphite Rumble, pretty strong combo if you ask me, you know? So
you're not wrong.
I'm wondering if that will be one of the bans that go away here. It's kind of surprising to me that we've seen it less and less, but honestly I think Shayo has looked best on, you know, we've seen the Mundo respectfully banned away, but on these tank style junglers, so if you end up taking the Malphite, I think you're in a decent spot.
Love the call. Malphite just in the back of my head, just simply because we haven't had the best games on in the LEC, but such a great response. Yike needs to be dealt with. Yike needs to be shut down. Shero has been a bit of a Mundo jungler so far, a bit of Wukong in there as well. He's played the Jace himself, so you got to think that the guy knows how to respond to this jungler, as Vi seems to be one of them to close the gap. That's now taken off the board.
Yeah, it makes the most amount of sense, and again, it's the same kind of logic as the Malphite, so wait and see. I am curious what Heretics are cooking up here, though, with the Galio on the opposite side, because I'm not 100% certain what their plan is for the mid lane.
They were maybe thinking that was going to be a Galio top.
Oh, sorry, Galio top.
No, but you're right. Like, we don't really see it much, so I wouldn't be too surprised, but maybe Kana's going to cook a little bit more, especially since Rumble running into a Sion, okay, it's just a mitigating matchup. K'Sante might be the answer for Kana this game. What do you think?
If you really want to get spicy, I think Aurora could work really well.
Yeah.
Got into the Rumble, we see it a little bit over in the LCK and LPL. And honestly, you're playing from range here anyway. So maybe that's the tool. But also nullifies the value of a Malphite if you do want to go for with both the Nocturne and the
Đội hình này KC đang 82 nha. KC đang đánh kinh lắm nha mọi người. KC đang 82 nha. Vị trí của Kahebu của DX, LCKCL nè, Cagna, Giai, Kalip đều những tài năng mà gọi là khá là ok mọi người.
They take the Aurora. Okay. So that's where I think Kana could have taken that. So I think Heretics kind of with a heads up to say, oh, this is something that could be pretty good.
Can he just go Gnar? I mean, Kana's Gnar is legendary. Can he go Gnar into this matchup? What do you think? What's on the board
other
for you?
option is Gwen. Is kind of a good matchup into the Rumble, but not exactly with the rest of the composition. So, like, you don't really have a lot of members on Heretics that are kind of playing into right now.
But running into the Aurora, the biggest question is, like, what are we going to see from Yahoo this game? Because K'Sante might just be, okay, I'm just going to take the bad matchup. I'm K'Sante, it doesn't matter. But mid matters so much here. What is Yahoo going to pilot? The best team in the league. What are they going to run into this Aurora? Do you want range?
Probably something like a Rise or something along these lines, to be honest.
I think so, but
kind
Rise is banned.
Oh, Rise is banned,
banned.
actually, yeah.
LeBlanc for Yahoo. I mean, we saw the Vayne Hobbit was cheeky. It was false.
I mean, he could go for the Zoe if he really wants to, but...
Lock it, do it.
Is it going to be? Yeah, okay.
Oh, yes, first LeBlanc on the last day LEC. Do we get the... No, we don't. Chill. Everyone chill. We need a jungle. We need a jungle.
Is it Rumble Jungle? No.
Not Rumble in the jungle, surely not.
I mean, it's
That makes
not...
more sense.
I think it's still playable, if I remember correctly.
It is playable. It's just about what you think of the comp. I'm going to get you a question answered on that, Dagda, because Ambessa gets locked in. There is single target lockdown here. You're going to have to run me through, because I see a lot of poke on Team Heretic side. I see a lot of range. There's good team fight setup. But do you think they're like a shotgun comp, or what are we talking about
I mean,
here?
KC is all about the poke, right?
Okay,
It's,
KC,
hey, try and land a lot of that from the Varus, from the Jace, even a Blanc, like distortion in, Q, ult, and E, and you're just going to
Bích xong rồi nè, bích xong rồi nè. TH kìa. Anh em làm cái TH cộng nha mọi người. Anh em làm cái TH cộng nha. TH Chu Miêu cộng nhá. Đời hình này TH Chu Miêu đánh ngon. Đời hình này TH Chu Miêu đánh ngon nha. TH cộng nhá.
Point and click CC with the Nautilus to set up for the Rumble, to set up for the Ambessa. It is a Rumble jungle, it looks like, as well.
Is
so,
it?
Yeah, I mean, well, it looks like it from the setup here, so... Yeah, so it's a Rumble jungle.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's good, because you get the Ambessa counterpick into the matchup in the top side. And for Heretics, all you really want to do is have that combo of picking someone off, finding engages with this Ambessa and with the Nautilus, and hoping Aurora can find some flanks to slow people down so you can play catch-up in the rest of the engagement.
I'm just looking in a bit of solo queue, looking at the build as well. Looks practically the same with Leandre's as well. Ignore Speaker picking Vandal pipes up, but everything
Chốt nha mọi
else
người.
is practical. So Rumble in the jungle for Team Heretics, and I think what I said came true, Dagda. They want to go out with a bang. This comp is a massive bang. A flash in the pan, because Heretics either live or die with the success of this draft. Welcome to this best of one, where so many teams watch closely. The lives of G2 Lost of Tones relying on the best team in the LEC right now in KC, while Team Heretics can change their fate and lock themselves into playoffs.
So we're actually seeing some cool Jace tech in the jungle specifically from Yike. If you start without a pot, you can full clear into one accelerated shock blast combo with your first strike, which gives you just about enough gold on your first reset to hit 1,100 gold. So then you can pick up the early serrated dirt. That makes you very powerful then when you start to move through in the rest of this. So we'll keep our eyes on Yike to see what his reset looks like, but it's something that a lot of Jaces have started to do.
And also he's going against a comp that doesn't have a true tank. Like, it's really important to note that there is a lot of shredding. KC, it was like this last time. It was like this when Yike pulled out the Jace last time. And there was just no true tank, Dagda. And guess what? Casey got to run away with the game. And from there, he was 10-1 and 11 last time, by the way, as well. 1k DPM is what he pulled out.
He set the
of
record
Shifters.
for the goal difference in the jungle, and then he
William win game rồi. Tầm này chắc là như vậy rồi.
Busio interacted together. Now you've got a good pushing lane on this bottom side. That opportunity for Yike and Busio to link up together is at an all-time high once more.
Well, that jungle support, the best in our league, and again, they're not just getting that name because they're
Tầm này là bên phía gọi là
For KC, it's going to have to
TH
start with
đánh
that
là phải
bottom lane.
Winland nha. Đội hình này mà đội hình đánh Winland được.
Importantly enough, ignore top for now as the Ambassador gets a good matchup, and as you expect, will get better and better with time, like a fine wine. But Dag did that bottom lane, that Varus. We're going to find out if it was a mistake to give Kalist his Varus again.
I mean, for Heretics, it's risky, but I think you have to risk it all in this sort of situation. You're trying to take down KC for the hopes of keeping your LEC versus campaign alive. But keep my eyes here, because, oh, that didn't end up connecting. Because again, like, Yike wants somewhere right now, as he finishes off his blue, to go towards, hit an accelerated shock blast, and have enough gold for this serrated Dirk on reset. But, if there's nobody in the bottom lane, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
True. Sten trying to pull the wave, but he comes close, but this will crash in the end, so nice from KC. Just to get the wave back to a net neutral as well. Notice here who actually in a bit of a lead just teleports back to the lane with an amplifying tome, but obviously some good trades there against Seren on the Aurora, and that's what you want to see as a LeBlanc as well, getting your game off to a snowballing start.
Yeah, Sheo going to move in, just get a ward down, matching Yikes, but this is what I was talking about here. Accelerated shock blast combo, hits, gets the first strike gold, and now he's got enough for the serrated Dirk on reset, so just if you're playing solo queue at home with Jace, this is something that you can't do.
Use the rune, got it. Nice little take on the Raptor camp on the respawn here as well. So for Yike, he'll be at the right place at the right time. Same can be said here. Sheo as they're crossing the map for now. Grayson getting really good trades up in this top lane. And I mean, again, it was always talked about how Ambassador just a nice matchup into the Cassante. This last minute flex.
Clear được. Không, nói chung là em đi cái cộng mọi người. Em đi cái cộng. Cái này thích cái cộng nha.
Another question as to if this works out. Trayson really going to have to make the top lane his own against Kana, who's a great weak side player, by the way. That is a tall order, because I think Kana has still been one of our top tier top laners. It's just about how he interacts with the rest of KC, which is team fighting, and the lane being his own.
But that's why I think Heretics did some kind of messing about in draft to make sure that they could end up with this, because you don't exactly end up with the best jungle matchup for Sheo in this sort of situation, right? Yike can play from range, make it a little bit more difficult for you, and you're not really going to be able to connect on towards the Jace, but it does open up Trayson to have a good matchup at the moment. I mean, he's a wave ahead in the CS department, so he's doing a pretty good job in keeping pressure on towards Kana, and that is making it way more valuable at the moment than anything else.
Only utilizing the fact that Yike was spotted moving across mid, going up towards the top camps, and now obviously be clearing towards bot as well. I guess it's also because Sheo's hovering the lane, so giving a bit of comfortability to Trayson here is in the early game. Nothing much has happened until now. Busio with an angle onto ice, cleansed away from. But this is what we saw on his Alistar the other day. This is what we've seen many times from Busio. He finds these creative, innovative paths through the jungle, and he's where you least expect him. He just pops out of your own tri-brush at a timing where Stand obviously reset.
Yeah, just kind of moves up towards mid, pulls Stand up there, make sure he's sitting around, and then starts to move back. And I think this is where we were kind of saying Busio is so dangerous as a support, is because he knows very well how to play with these small timing windows. You even see Yike again moving in to get vision down. We'll spot out that Shea was going to make his way towards the bottom side. But if Ice is underneath his tower, like, it sets it up very easy for Yike to move over, just take a couple of pop shots with Kalist, you know, take a quarter of Ice's health bar, but Stan, that's not it.
It's a failed dredge line onto a minion. Kalist is looking for the Q here now. Hits dangerous damage onto the Nautilus. And if Dragon wasn't free before, now for KC it's guaranteed.
Yeah, and you got push in mid as well, so I think we'll have, yeah, Sten has to recess. Can't stick around for fear that people are going to come across. Yike, a little low.
Nah, calculated.
Has the help of his team, so we'll all be fine. But this is kind of control in the early stages from KC, playing off these strong lanes, and it's something we've seen very consistently from this team, is their ability to just play from pushing lane in bot into controlling space in this bot side river, stacking dragons, looking for early skirmishes, and there's no different story here.
Speaking of stories, just quick side note, shout out to our production. Apparently the last LEC Jungle Rumble was in 2024 summer, and it was from Sheo, and he lost.
That's not good.
That's not good, no. Let's see if we can right the wrongs. So far he's losing out a little bit of gold, but it's not much to Yike. I mean, Yike is on the same cancer, but he also got the Dragon, so things are pretty even between junglers. The biggest lead right now on Summoner's Rift is Yehu. Yehu's up 20-something CS. I think he's bullying the hell out of Seren. He got counterpicked for mid, and it's working out well as Team Heretics are now going to try to do something well down pod. Flash over those stands. Beautiful. Busio gets out of the way with the rubble into a corner. It's first blood matched with second overheating. Khaled dies to the fourth. Ice lines him down and the pins are shot into the ground.
Massive timing exploit there from Heretics. The wave is pushing in. Level 6 for Ice, not available for Kalist and Busio.
2-0 cho bên phía của TH Chu Miu nè. Ok không, ok không? Em Long game này đi gì vậy? Em Long đi cái TH Chu Miu cầm.
And KC are rats caught in the corner.
Because Kalist, if you could clear this wave, will be fine, but he just used his Q, so can't actually clear at the wave to level 6. Sten sets it up, flashing in to make that fight happen. And it's a double kill for the Jhin. And what we've seen is when Ice gets ahead for Heretics, good things happen for this team.
Pentakill Master. That guy already a double kill when we talked about their matching range, what the Jhin was in the composition. Ice on Jhin, that chatter knows what's up. I feel like for Team Heretics, this early lead has mitigated what we're seeing happen in the bottom lane, right? Like Serrated Dirk pickaxe already picked up. Yeah, there's poke from Kalist, but now Ice is going to get to that first item sooner. Next Dragon may be a reality. And Team Heretics in this 2v2, maybe an even better scenario where they come out unscathed.
Yeah, you do have the cleanse coming up shortly for Ice, which helps out massively. The only downside is that there's no flash on stand.
Yeah.
And if you end up looking for, you know, Busio to hit some sort of tangle barbs and then the follow-up with the damage from both Kalist and Yike, I think that's where you might struggle here to keep your bot lane safe as Heretics.
Chains after the sigil comes in and the trades. This is what Seren is dealing with. Korean LeBlanc. Oh boy. You know what? I'm really worried about Seren's in the pit.
TH Chu Miu gọi là làm win game này thôi. Chắc là win được đó mà. TH Chu Miu nó cũng thuộc dạng gọi là biết chơi game. Đội hình trẻ khỏe. Chẻo trúng luôn nè. Trời ơi. Bạn đang trúng phải túi cả lít xém cút mọi người ạ. Đau nha. Nhưng mà một cái ulti là có hai mảng từ vị trí của xe đi luôn. Mượt.
Bot lane die is the name of the play here from Heretics, and they have been pulling it off beautifully. KC are 0-2 apiece in this bottom side.
Bot is danger right now for KC as we look at a couple of wins.
And it looked like it wasn't the play here from Sten, but he immediately ults Yike, who had actually gone into melee form, so couldn't follow up with the accelerated shock blast onto Sten. This TP comes
bắn mượt nha.
Shots raining down
Tình
from
huống bắn khá là đau.
And Seren, the flash over the tangle barbs was perfect to set up for those kills.
And that was double flash, right? Stend in the first time over the tangle barbs, then Seren. Both these carries are reading the movements coming out of Busio here. And it has given him so much relief in a lane that he was losing so hard. Grub's going to be taken as we come back to live. But for KC, they're down 1,000 gold, sure. Mid is going well, but the rest of the map currently is either on fire or in a very happy place.
Yeah, you're not getting the value that you're hoping for as KC in this sort of position. And as long as Heretics are keeping up this pressure, you're not going to get value that you're hoping for from this poke comp. If it's Heretics that are starting to take vision, starting to control River, you're in a good spot. There's still a lot of wards on this bottom side of the map, though, for KC. And I believe it may have spotted Shea as he tries to move in here.
A good face check with the clone as well. Sten narrowly avoiding on rather missing here on the dredge line. But KC under so much pressure on this Varus pick, and it is nice. We asked, are Team Heretics going to have an answer for the Varus? Like, why did they let this open? Well, I think we're getting
Nhưng mà nhìn chung nha, nhìn chung là cái sức mạnh bên phía của Team Heretics hiện tại là 4-0 nha mọi người. Nhưng mà không hơn bao nhiêu tiền. Không hơn bao nhiêu tiền. Có nghĩa là bên phía của KC nó vẫn có cơ hội nó lật được.
Yeah, both top laners now more than likely going to need to reset, though. Kana a little bit healthier, so there is a teleport play if you want as KC to go down, but Kana, low mana and no ultimate, makes him a little bit less threatening. You see here, though, KC just trying to set up for that poke. But this should be Heretics.
Look at the way flash dredge line. No setup here from KC. Instead of pick on support, Busio's down. Yahoo was looking for an angle himself, and there is a steal onto Dragon, so KC get double for the life of Busio. But only time will tell if that's really worth as Team Heretics keep stacking up the gold.
That smite was clutch from Yike, because a kill and Dragon going over would have been a complete disaster, but at least giving yourself a little bit of time here with 2 dragons now for KC. Heretics really would have liked to start stacking those objectives up now.
And Yike, by the way, is just picking up gold piece by piece once again here on the Jace. No ultis in top laners, so for Trayson, he should have the edge for now, but Kana looking for the flip, even out of ulti form. It connects, and once again, Trayson in trouble as Busio on his respawns now come top the range. Trayson lucky to be alive, he's running for his life. The setup needs to come through, but there's no roaming LeBlanc, not yet. Team Heretics looking to cover. Yike still looking for the dive. Trayson, one more shock blast into hammer form. He flashes, he still gets hit. Equalizer down, flash away from Yike. Team Heretics on the chase.
5-1. Chặt na kẹt luôn nè. Thằng Shell này con đánh con trung bộ đi rừng hả? Mà em hết tướng bích anh em ơi. Ảo thế. Nhưng mà đánh được là được. Quan trọng gì? Đánh được là được.
Starting to take those turret plates, may even honestly take that mid lane turret as Heretics extend further.
Yike needed his mana back, so he got the camp. Sheo flashes forward, he wants the blood, and with the dredge line, how easy is that? Sheo with a kill up as well in this game. He's getting out of hand as 1v1 between AD carries. He's firing off Callismus, the ulti and ice. He's running at him, doesn't even need to count to 4. The blood is raining and Heretics are making it flow faster.
Heretics know this game matters, and they are putting everything on the rift. KC, they're falling apart here.
Yeah, who's going to run out? He's okay for now. Trayson made the roam down. Nothing down on the bottom side of the map. It's just swapping lanes here so Trayson can get some turret plating. But Sheo is speeding the game up. I have to say as well, Seren's roams. At first it sacrificed so much in the CS department, but it has paid off twice now. That goal's just about even between mid.
Stend is playing out of his mind.
And he is too.
We've been looking at Busio as the best support in the league. Like, with Alvaro and him battling it out. But Stend has come in and he's flash tango barbs. He's flash engaged onto Busio to set up kills. And he's the one that's setting up these plays on the top side. Stend is playing fantastic.
Có khi nào nó không kịp swap Amdessa với Rumble của em không? Không, em nghĩ để cho con Amdessa đi đường trên cũng được. Cho con Rumble đi rừng, nhưng mà hợp lý hơn thì con Amdessa đi rừng nha. Có khi nào là như vậy không ta?
It's the follow-up here from Stend once more. These hooks have been crucial in setting up for the picks. As Casey tried to take a camp, but again, slows from Sheo, sets up for Stend.
Nhưng mà thằng này đánh Rumble nhìn được quá nhờ. Đánh con Rumble nhìn được quá nhờ.
Combo up, maybe look for a turn, but a bit of greed from Yike cost him instead of going through the lane. That guy's holy molying out of his mind, and Team Heretics are indeed everywhere. And chat is popping off today. But 1.7k is a concern for KC right now on ice, who's collectoring, almost going to be IEing. I mean, there is a very fed Jhin in this game, and while there is a tank, it is early enough where I feel like Ice is going to be able to shred the carries.
It has to be on Yahoo to try and take Ice out of these fights. You still have the curtain call, which is always going to make him a little bit more dangerous. But I think you just need, as Yahoo, to firmly set your eyes on Ice. Because in theory, the rest of Heretics is going forward, which does open you up for a window. But at the moment, Heretics, they're just not letting go.
Nó đánh con Rumble nhìn được phết đấy. Không đùa, chứ không phải là thuộc dạng đánh lơ tơ mơ mọi người ạ.
So good lane matchups and assignments by Heretics to force this. But again, Yahoo with Yike on the bottom side, trading for the Rift Herald.
Side turret goes down. Herald is the trade. Bit of gold back in KC is important, but it is shared. But these are the two strongest members right now of KC. As you said, Yahoo needs a bit of gold. I mean, Yahoo needs to be that threat onto Ice. Completely agree. I am just worried, though, that when we were talking about the angles these mid laners play, that Seren is going to have an equal, if not greater part at this point. He might not have his first item, but there's a Darksteel with 8 stacks, and there's an Aurora who has a Varus to deal with. Like, how dangerous it is to be an AD carry in this game.
It's just because Yahoo has gotten all the plates, almost all the plates, I should say, in that mid lane turret.
And the
got
CS
a ton of them on the bot and the CS lead. Yahoo, even with 4 kills onto Seren,
I'm actually
Yahoo
surprised,
still has a lead, right?
Didn't even think about that.
So this is where, again, like, you have opportunities as this block. You've gotten an item nearly up to 2. You are quite strong. And if you can pose a threat, you have a chance. And KC already established on this mid wave. Heretics want to try and use this Rift Herald play to draw KC back out of River so they can actually establish themselves.
Poke's not bad. Herald's Horn gives the distraction. It was from Callist onto Ice, but Ice is having to step up. Remember, he has ulti. Who gets hit by Seren. That's a big chunk to Teleport not available here from Yahoo either.
Vẫn chỉ là gọi là cái lợi thế dành phía của team TH. TH nó cũng áp đảo nhiều. Hơn 200 mấy tiền, 8-1. Vô tư anh em ơi, tập này chiến thắng là vô tư.
They thought wrong. Aren't going to go down to Kana in the meantime. That's something here. But Team Heretics fighting off their ass. I mean, this is a brilliant game so far. Like, if I saw this Heretics all season, what a joy it would have been. What a different story they would have painted. It's like when the fear sets in. You know, Heretics play out of their mind, I guess. I mean, a lot of teams do, right? Quick side note as well. I'm going to keep reminding you all what today's all about, because we still have a couple of teams unconfirmed. We said it at the start. We'll say it again. Heretics literally do or die, obviously. But also, if they win, Fnatic will also lock playoffs. And then G2 will have to fight for their lives at the end as well. And Shifter's also watching in the back. Like, there's so many teams affected by this single best of one, and it will change the whole season and the next 2 months for these organizations as well.
But so many of these stories have been written by teams like Heretics stepping up and beating teams that we consider the best in the region.
8-1 nha. Cái cộng cao đúng không nhỉ? Cái cộng là cộng cao. Tầm này cái cộng chắc êm, cái cộng chắc là êm. Mấy này nhưng chạy xe nó đủ điểm rồi. Nó đủ điểm rồi mọi người ạ.
He's now connecting against the wall, waiting for the dredge line. Chain also out. The change is going to be coming here from.
Nó đủ điểm rồi cho nên nó đánh trôn nè.
The queue, he's looking for the Topos on the way, but Team Heretics already too far away. They got Scuttle Crab as well and Dagda. They're going to run it out. TP was committed and now down.
But they don't get anything for the TP. Heretics, sure, they burned 2 ultimates, but they'll be back up relatively shortly, and it's a minute until Baron, which is not going to be rushed by KC, and 3 minutes until the next Dragon. So for Heretics, you'll take that trade any day of the week.
Yahoo has to go match bot anyway, so let's see if it really matters as Tracing goes back up towards top wave. Ice gets poked out a little bit, and even though Kalist is behind 2,000 gold, I mean, it's still a lethality virus. It's still a very big post-80 carry with Yike as well as Chain's Corruption Connect, and the turret now gone. Stand poured out. He's had a great game so far, but now with his pads down, what can he do? Curtain calls lining down, and Kalist behind his whole team. He gets saved, mid-turret falls down, but a gold again back for KC.
KC find the pick, and Sten just not respecting that Chains of Corruption. Ends up getting caught. Heretics have been playing this fantastically, but they cannot give those moments across, especially as you start to look towards these next Dragons coming up. Sure, they got one, but KC, with that sneak away, set up for a 3rd Dragon, potential for a soul. Heretics still need to be very, very careful. This comp can be so dangerous for picks with KC.
Isn't that why it's great though, Dagda, as Ice gets chunked? Like, this comp is so sink or swim. If they get caught out, if they get poked down, oh my god, the fight looks useless. But if they launch and Seren's able to find the pick, we saw Dragon's a freebie, maybe Baron's a freebie as well. All it takes is one shotgun to the face, and the face is gone. That's generally how it works.
8-2 đến từ hai bên. 8-2 mọi người à.
And it's just opening up for Saren to push in on bottom side.
Okay, picked up. Oh no, flashes away. Gets out with the blast cone, but I don't think he's out. Yike's still looking for the follow-up. Karna's there, slams it against the wall. Back to the ocean with him, and Stan twice now has been the picking grace.
And now KC looking for Tracing.
But need a binding to connect here. For the chains, it does max range. Yahoo gets the stun down.
Rồi JC bị bắt, JC nằm mọi người. Nó gỡ lại cái thế hòa tiền. Bên phía của KC, thậm chí bây giờ KC còn hơn tiền. KC thua mạnh hơn tiền. Thua mạnh mà lại hơn tiền.
They need a little bit more though. Deadly Flourish buffered for the time being, but Show's damage is good. Now that he's out of the overheat, he has to keep on going. With an Electro Harpoon, the slow from Kana is good, but Kana's still Cassante, 2 items strong. It takes more members and more than that to cut through.
KC starting to fight back, 40 seconds until Dragon resets. Quickly coming through. Yahoo, I think, will have Rabadon's death cap, there it is, on his return, which makes him significantly more threatening in these fights. Heretics didn't burn that TP from Saren on the play though, so going to send him top. They still have him to try and move through, and a lot of vision is already established here. But Heretics, I think they're set up a little early on this. KC can look to poke from this position.
Thinking Yahoo's going to send out the chains because behind him wants Yike again.
TP from Saren down to the bottom side. He's trying to regroup on this objective. But KC have pushed Heretics back, and moving through these choke points is so dangerous as Heretics. Stand, point to click CC with the setup.
Nói chung là 8-4 thôi, không có gì cả. Hai bên gọi là thiết lập lại cái thế gọi là cái thế tiền. Về phía KC bây giờ là cái thế hơn, là cái bên hơn tiền mọi người ạ.
Going down very, very cautiously as Busio looks for an angle onto Trayson. KC line the river. Seren here goes in, Viz tries to make a play, but KC aren't stepping up. Equalizer in the river with the ultimate set up as well. Trayson, it's a beautiful one! Trayson's kept them at bay. Heretics have already found two, and the Dragon. Kana came in to help finish off the fight, but the fight is done for Heretics. Over the wall, Yahoo, bit of poke, but there's not enough damage. They pounced. They threw, they jumped in, and Team Heretics knew exactly what to do.
Trayson with a great ultimate to set up that play. Catches onto Kalist, sets up for Heretics, and they immediately turn over towards the Baron as well.
Oh, it's gone? I mean, it's a Jhin, it's an Aurora. We'll go to a replay and come back to that one, but this was beautiful setup.
Yeah, Busio spent some time marking Trayson off on the side here, but as soon as Busio steps away, Trayson able to get with that Rumble ultimate, I think, oh no, she didn't get onto Kalist, ended up onto Yike. And Yike ends up going down immediately, but just doesn't have a chance.
Too many damn circles in League of Legends. Aurora ult, Pop Blossom. We need a different shape. Looking at that fight again, I mean, Busio didn't get to put his circle down because the Aurora ult was
Bên
there.
phía cổ TH có cho mình con Wagon nha, có cho mình con Wagon nha.
Book of Death. That thing is there. And I can't get rid of that off the screen. Dagda's going to have to help me as... Yeah, Seren is feeling it. And Heretics, another one moment. A Mountain Dragon denied from a Cassante again. And Baron picked up in the replay. Now this is their time. They're going to start picking up gold and make this lead an opportunity.
But it also denies KC access to the map, which is crucial against the poke composition. If you are trying to take space as this comp on KC, it's not a fun time. Yes, you have Kana there. But if he's not with you,
11-4, một ca mấy tiền dẫn trước dành cho bên phía của TH. Mà mình cộng cao anh em ơi, anh em mình cộng cao lắm. Cho nên là tới bây giờ là vẫn ổn,
Such a great one from Heretics. I mean, I cannot exclaim that this is their best game of the season right when they need it. And obviously you at home are sick of the stakes, so let's focus on the League of Legends. Let's get to the roar of it and how this game operates from here, because it's two dragons apiece. Baron has been used to get these waves out, but it hasn't really done a solid dent. For Heretics, taking it off the map feels like justice, feels like a bit of extra gold, but Dagda, we are starting to approach 3-4 items here on some of the carries. And I want you to tell me how the next couple of minutes of this game is going to go, what you're looking out for, because things are tense and they're quite even, with a lot of poke being flown out, hoping to get a pick.
Yeah, a lot of this is Heretics staying safe until this next objective. If Yahoo's able to push on side lanes and then collapse on mid,
11-4, mỗi bên hai con rồng. Cái lượng mạng thì bên mình vẫn đang chiếm lợi thế mọi người ạ. Thì bên mình cộng cao. Cho nên là không sao cả, không xi nhê.
It's significantly harder, but Stend is kind of playing with fire here a little bit. He knows Yahoo is missing.
He's been found out as well. Yahoo over the wall, chain doesn't connect. Now, as you said, Sten plays with fire because if he gets caught by one chain of CC, the rest follows, he's dead. And that's all it takes. Shao's able to block a bit of damage there. With help of Bastion Breaker, Yike just pops in, but so does the turret. The turret gets popped down as well, and Baron now gets a bit of gold under the wing. It is only about a 1,200 gold Baron power play for now, though, 30 seconds, and with Kana pushing the wave, there's not enough pressure across the map for Team Heretics to actually break another one of these in.
But Heretics kind of got what they wanted. Like, all this vision has been established on this bottom side, which makes it much more difficult if you're KC to try and move through, because then it's Trayson who can set up for a play, Stend who can look for the point-to-click CC. And again, if Kana isn't with you, you don't have someone who's very good at taking this space back. So as long as Heretics can play off this vision that they've established and where these waves are settled in the lanes, it becomes much easier for Heretics to play for the Dragon.
I mean, that Dragon as well that stops the poke comp in its tracks, like how much buffering you get, not only with the Mountain Shield, that's obviously the end goal with the Soul, but the individual stats are there. Stand, don't be up and available, rather that was Celestial Blessing, but he mitigates some of the poke, and you're starting to see that Yike, although he was quite big and has 3 items, he's not doing really that much to anyone outside of Ice and Seren anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the Seeker's Arm Guard already come through. You've got the plated steel caps there for ice. Like, armor is starting to be stacked up on Heretics, which just makes us significantly less threatening. And it's Yahoo again that I was saying that we kind of have to focus on, because if he can pop someone, maybe that's the difference. But I don't quite know if he has the capabilities. There isn't much magic resist, which does help.
Rồi, chúng có giao tranh không? Tới khúc này là bên phía của gọi là KC nó bắt buộc cũng phải đánh rồi.
This is a fight brewing in the river that KC really want to take and take it before the Dragon has even thought about. Sten not getting hit this time around with Busio. Deadly Flourish caught out as he goes golden. Sten is rearing for a hook. Drake's line too early. Kurt caught blocked by the clone. A misplay from the support of Heretics. Okay, Dragon still being taken though, but it's about the afterplay. Trayson hit up. Flash ball from Yahoo doesn't get the stun up. Trayson down. Chain corruption. Here's the ulti from Zeren and he finds one. Yahoo is yet no. Team Heretics get the Dragon as well. Triple on the board, and KC are starting to get outplayed.
This game is quickly falling out of their hands. 3 Mountain Dragons against this poke comp, you already called it, Jake, is just gonna do nothing. Like, there is so little damage KC are capable of doing right now. And even there you can see Yahoo hoping to focus Trayson, take out one of those arms that are the engaged tools for Heretics, but it cost him his life.
Moly holy, that's a new one for me. I think Seren is playing out of his mind.
Big time,
I want to see a replay again, but I'm not even sure if we have time. It feels like Baron o'clock in 50 seconds.
12-4, ổn mọi người ơi. Gọi là...
And yeah, we're getting a replay now, like...
Tập này cái...
Seren, who are you looking at in this fight, Dagda?
Cái cộng cục còn phải nghe. Cái cộng còn phải nghe mọi người ạ. Vô tư.
Insane play. No one could catch it. No one probably thought Seren would jump into 4 people, but there he stands. Majai's 14 stacks will keep counting as there's no big gold lead from Heretics, but the stats again that Dagger and I both told you is massive. Baron's up in 15 seconds. More to play through here as Sten gets poked from afar, but Team Heretics are still in the driver's seat in this game as River, the fight for vision continues.
They're still going to be completely fine. It's Heretics just playing on wave states, not letting KC get multiple angles of attack, and if Stend is the one that's tanking up, he's going to be grand. Like, he's got those shields to come through, has that belt as well, which is going to heal him when he drops low, so... It's, again, like, Heretics doing a good job of marking the angles of attack for KC.
Yahoo over the wall. Shao doesn't get the binding down, and there's Seren again! The game-winning play maybe, because Baron's up, and Team Heretics have got to pick on the mid lane.
Heretics immediately move over. Shao's going to start it up. They're trying to deny KC access here as Trayson.
They're trying to 5v4. Kana gets rooted down. Sten gets poked out. Yikes looking for a target. Shao is soloing Baron for now. He needs a bit of help as Ice moves over too, but Team Heretics are separated, but it won't matter because KC are pulling off.
No.
Wait, Sten, flash, engage onto Seren, the poke there, and down in an instant goes Yike. Kallis running as well, and they thought, nah, we can keep him from range. But Seren again, lined up with Trayson, and the Heretics are preaching their message.
Kana reset and doesn't even bother with the TP. He knows that one's gone. And what a performance from Heretics in this game. Their playoff opportunity here if they can win.
10 mạng nữa được không Long á, khả quan nha, khả quan nha. 14 mới có 14-4, cách 4k tiền. Bên phía của thằng TH này cũng chưa end được. Nó cũng phải đánh cà nhơi mọi người.
They have been the best by far. This support jungle has been insane, but they have been countered, and Sten is stepping up to the plate. Shao is having some great equalizers, but Seren on this Aurora is unreal. And so is this gold lead that's now in their pocket. 5,000 just about. Setting up the mid-plating as well. Transcorruption do land, and here's an opportunity with the chain bars as well on top, but Stand is not taking any damage. Mountain Dragon stats must be the difference maker there, but still a bit more poke to come, but Yike won't be able to land it, while Team Heretics use top as their stomping ground.
Yeah, Trayson is happy to just reset and match the push from Khan on that bottom side, but there's already pressure on towards the top half of the map. The tower goes thanks to Baron, and now a minute left until potential Mountain Soul. 4 Mountain Dragons for Heretics. This game is just becoming impossible for KC.
And I can't believe Heretics are doing it with this draft as well. They pulled out this crazy, like, you know, sure, like Rumble got first pick. They're giving away Varus though. They gave away Cassante. They gave away Jace. Because a lot of the time, Rumble gets
14, 18 mạng anh em. Đánh như vậy mà nó cũng đứng mạng. Đánh như vậy mà cũng đứng mạng được hay thiệt.
And it was a counter from Yahoo. But the map movements from Seren, that double kill bot and then the kills up in top completely changed the game.
It's the way Heretics played around bot lane that's been the most impressive. Like getting these early kills, managing to get that TP from Seren. It has been at the forefront of this success for Heretics. But KC still looking for the poke.
Yeah, who gets some down as well, but Trayson is just going to brush that off. Dragon up in 15 seconds. Dagda, this is the soul. KC need to stop this for any chance of keeping in the game. Trayson's going to back here with enhanced recall and come back quick with his teleport.
Mid lane tower falls in the bottom of your screen. KC looking to find that poke, but Heretics entering through this bottom half. You've got Seren on a flank as well, which makes this even more difficult.
14 đến từ hai bên. Và đâu đó là có 3 con rồng chuẩn bị bên phía của KC chiếm con rồng này mọi người ạ. Không dám để cho đối phương có cho mình cái linh hồn rồng này.
Curtain going to start off the fight, but at 5k, the Dragon is already in threat range. Seren now spotted out by a clone. The Curtain Call doesn't do too much either. And Yahoo gets iced down to half HP. 4.5k, Team Heretics, the fight is skirted out. These equalize down in the back. Trayson looks for an angle, but it's stolen. Yike's going to die for it though as Yahoo is found out over the wall. Match, triple flash, they find him. Casey now on the run. They've done the dirty work with the Pop Blossom. Is kept in place. Best support of the league is taken down a notch as the Heretics are continuing to preach.
It's Dragon for base though. The minions are here and it's only Kana that is left standing. Heretics have just done it. They have just locked themselves playoffs.
They're the best team in the league. That's what we thought about KC. But what is the best to the Heretics, who now hold hands with the Fanatics alike? We are moving to a different kind of church today. The believers of Team Heretics, step on in. We welcome you. It is a Sunday after all. That Heretics will not let us forget.
Đây, tác chung yêu lụm ngay, tác chung yêu lụm ngay. Đuối quá nè. Xin được chạy, sủi. Cảm ơn anh em ủng hộ. Ngày mai coi tiếp. Bye bye anh em nha.